And 80 messages later, you have people yelling at me. I'm like, I'm just...
I mean, the thing is, I actually don't... Like, I still have notifications on for the 8HA chat on Discord. It's just no one uses it.
Because we have, like, one guy.
Yeah.
And Manuel, and I don't need another way to talk to Manuel.
Yeah. Nobody does.
That part has to stay in the video, though.
Messaging.
Let's
at
actually start
3
with that.
a.m.
Okay, yeah. None of us need another way to talk to Manuel.
That is true. Manuel doesn't even need another way to speak to
We'll give
him.
him the award. We'll give him an award, like, best person we don't want to talk to anymore.
Aw, dude.
I don't
I like
know.
it.
If you scare him real good, he screams pretty good and pretty hilarious.
I've never heard Manuel scream.
Oh man, me and Kaz were out here and we got like surprised by a mantis that shot fire. All
What?
screamed like little girls.
Whoa! This is cool. Discord has an overlay built for Hearthstone.
Oh, cool.
Neat.
I can see who's talking.
Anyway,
Discord
So,
has that in, like, all the games.
It didn't work in Elite. Just saying.
Oh, I mean, when I say all the games, I mean a lot of the games.
I don't think
It has in,
does.
like, League.
I don't think
and,
you're telling the truth.
Most Blizzard games that I've played.
Blizzard doesn't make games.
You're right. Alright, this is our podcast.
Welcome back. It's only been like 4 months. 5
Yeah,
months.
it's been a while. We have schedules.
life is hard.
Yeah.
Basically, I died. That was a real problem here.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you want to
he
see
was
us
a
more
zombie.
often, pay us. So
Yeah.
it's the end of the year, and we're gonna talk about all our. I'm literally just looking at the list of things I wrote down, and like, I had scrolled down a little bit, and I'm around the disappointment section, and I'm just like, man.
We should probably start
was
from the
actually-
bottom of the list and work up.
The list I'm looking at is actually in a completely different order. Like, I wrote my
Okay.
own just to fill out my choices for the stuff.
Well, just save top games, obviously, for last.
Yeah.
Everything else, do whatever you're doing.
So, I mean, just in general, like, how did everyone feel about, like, this year, and, like, in terms of video games? Otherwise, it was a very bad year, I know.
I thought it was
As
good.
far as video games go, there's some pretty good games this year.
Yeah, it was a good
There's couple
year,
games that I
actually.
enjoyed playing.
Like, this was the first year in a long time where I played several games where I put in more than, like, 40 hours at a time into
Yep.
them.
Yeah.
So, that was exciting.
Yeah, it's actually been, for me, like, also one of the best years in games in a really long time.
Yeah. And we had a good variety, too, which makes me really happy. Like, there was something for everybody this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
and switched
I
back
also-
and forth from PlayStation and Xbox, so that's
Oh, gross.
a neat thing, yeah. And PC. And PC.
That's correct.
There you
It's a
go.
little better, but still.
But yeah, I mean, like, for me, like, some of the games I enjoyed most this year, even, like, in genres I don't like. And it's like, well, there's just so many, like, good things in, like, people are just like, hey, you know this thing? Like, we're gonna just make it a million times better, and that's why it's my game of the year, but we'll get there later.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Did people, curious, do any of you guys know if the overall community reaction has been positive about this year in gaming?
Everyone I know that's played games this year has had some pretty good games this year.
Yeah.
I mean, like, individual games might be disappointing, but overall I think people have walked away going, there was some good stuff this year.
Pretty much
Yeah.
whatever you're into, there was something for you this year that was really good. And plus, it was the Switch launch year, and Switch had a great
Yep.
launch year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even own one, and I can see that it had a great year.
Yeah.
I mean, Persona 5 finally came out.
Did it?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you
Cuphead
sure?
finally came out.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Final Fantasy 15 finally got finished.
That's arguable. I mean, I don't know if
Crash
I'd say it got
Bandicoot.
finished.
Insane
I mean,
trilogy.
more complete than it was.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know what got finished, though, actually, is No Man's Sky,
That's true.
Yeah, with DLCs and free content.
Yeah.
which I actually
And Pokemon
finally
got
played
finished too.
this year. That was actually where I was going to go to next anyway, is, like, what from, like, the past, specifically 2016, but also before that, just like old stuff that you finally get to catch up on this year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Catch up.
Yeah, just like in general, any like old stuff, you're like, oh, I didn't get to play that when it was new, but now I'm playing it.
I spent a lot of time catching up, actually.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I mentioned No Man's Sky. I played so much of No Man's Sky that I am playing,
man.
like,
No Man's Sky
like last month
post
for the first
Atlas
time or whatever.
Rising.
It's so good. It's exactly what I wanted it to be on launch, and because I didn't play it on launch, I'm like, cool, good game. Good job.
Yeah.
Hello.
I mean, I still don't know if it's enough to counter how many people were upset at launch.
No.
But if it
so
was a
much
game
hype.
if it was a game you were apprehensive about getting, it is now worth getting.
Yeah. I think it's commendable that they stuck with it and delivered,
Well,
you know,
Yeah,
instead
I'm
of
I
giving
so
up.
proud of
I
them
also
that
think part
in the
of that
face
was-
of everyone saying it's the worst thing ever made, they were like, hey, we're just going to make it better instead of disappearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, to be
Yeah.
fair, they did disappear for a while.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they were also like somewhere in like the hills of Scotland or something.
In the hills of Scotland. I like this story very much, actually.
Good.
Like Sean Murray had to go hide for a bit. They had to.
Yeah.
They had to
true.
go find a planet and not tell anyone where they were. And not
It was
leave them-
that planet was procedurally generated, though, just so you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
completely empty though. No life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just hot. Just
I'm okay with this.
hot.
Yeah, other than that, I also finally got around to playing Stardew Valley this year.
Oh
played
my
a
god,
bunch
I
of
did
it.
too. 73 hours in
Dog.
like the span of maybe a month.
I just saw a dog sit up. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, I played so much Stardew Valley. I mean, I did actually play it closer to when it came out. I kind of, like, started, and I was like, I'm not into this. I think I got maybe 5 minutes in. And this year, I just played hours of it at a time. I played, like,
think
every day for, like, a week or two.
Yeah.
Wait, that didn't release this year?
no,
Stardew
it released
Valley, no.
last-
It
Oh,
released last year, and then it released this year for the Switch.
and I guess it's releasing next year on the Vita. For like the
oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, I can't wait for it to be the new Skyrim on everything.
You know what? I'd sooner buy.
Speaking of which, Skyrim VR came out.
I'd
this
rather
year.
Stardew Valley be on everything than Skyrim, yeah.
Oh my
I think
God,
everybody would rather.
I got an email about doing like an in-home PSVR trial with Skyrim, and like this is just a ploy to get me to buy Skyrim again. I know
No.
what this is.
Pretty
I don't
much.
think so,
No,
Todd.
Todd
does
shows
want
up
some
to
money.
your house in person, like, hey, I
He personally
I
delivers
just
it
happened
to
to
you.
be in the neighborhood and I had this Skyrim.
Seems legit.
Hey, it's like you're Jan, right? Here's Skyrim. Take it, please.
No, Todd.
I can't wait for, like, eventually they're gonna have a box set of just every single version of Skyrim.
I'd buy it.
I wouldn't.
I don't even like the series. Why would I buy it? What is wrong with me?
What else? I have been playing, like, a ton of Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I
You
think I played
started
like
up
that
again.
last year, or... I mean,
Yeah,
either
we're-
way, it came out like 2 years ago.
We're getting
Yeah.
what, on year 3 in January.
Yeah, they are selling the year 3 pass right now. Which
Yeah.
normally for DLC, if someone makes multiple season passes, they'll be like, no. But considering it's the type of game where you're gonna, like, where new characters come out and you buy them, I actually prefer that they have a pass, just in case you want to get all that. Like,
Yeah.
if League of Legends had, like, a pass that was like, hey, you can get everyone that comes out this year, I'd be like, yep, I'm into that.
Hero Pass. There you go.
Yeah, if it was, like, multiple, like, season passes for map packs or something, no.
Yeah.
Bad content. But
And
no,
it's
Rainbow
nice
Six
that
is
you
great.
don't have to pay for it anyways, right? Because you can
Yeah,
get
you
what you
can,
want regardless. So
Well, unfortunately, I got the dumb version back when I was like, oh, I don't know if I'll like this game for sure. I'll just get the starter edition that has ruined everything.
Mhm.
You can't.
Oh, that's
upgrade.
right.
You
You
don't
can't
have any
upgrade, so
operatives.
everything is always super expensive. You have to like pay money for stuff. I have a bunch of operatives now, or operators, whatever it is. But yeah, like
right.
just earning them sucks because I got the starter edition. You can't upgrade.
Oh, is it still really like grindy?
Yeah. It's will stay that way forever. The only way to upgrade is literally to just buy all of them for money, and it would cost roughly about the same as it would have to buy the full game.
Oh,
So
GG.
At
GG.
least it's an option.
yeah, and I mean,
I
it's
guess.
a really good game, and they're just improving it every day. Maybe not every day, but all the time. New operators all the time.
It's good.
And,
That's good. Yeah, I enjoyed what I played. Like I was telling Justin this. Like, I'm actually an all-time Rainbow Six, like, since the original player, and like I wasn't happy with everything from like Vegas on, pretty much. And Siege was a nice, pleasant surprise. I was really happy.
So
with
is that
it,
more
honestly.
like how the earlier Rainbow Sixes were?
It feels more similar, yes. And in defense, I want to be fair. In defense of the Vegases, they were reasonably true to the old ones, but I mean, they were still lacking, you know.
I don't know. I always thought like, oh, maybe I had played some, but no. I think Siege is actually the first one I've played. I've just played a bunch of like Ghost Recons and got them mixed up.
Now I'm just getting flashbacks of Vegas with the stupid filter over it. Oh, it looks like it looks like
Oh,
it has
gross.
a constant glare.
Gross.
Nice.
No,
Nice.
Siege is great. Everyone should play Siege. Well, maybe not Jan. That's competitive games, but
No, she should still play it.
yeah.
No, she'll enjoy it.
That way, she can complain about how terrible it is.
I mean, I do love complaining about how terrible things are.
Well.
I mean, if I'm gonna do that, I might as well just buy Battlefront.
Oh no.
No, don't do that.
Oh god.
Nobody
at
deserves
least
that.
with Siege, you're like giving money to a company who cares.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Ubisoft. They didn't have as good of a year as last year, but they're still like, they're doing all right. Just
Hey,
pretend
they managed to
Assassin's
ward
Creed
off.
Didn't happen.
They managed to ward off a hostile takeover.
Did they? Who was gonna buy Ubisoft?
Vivendi.
Really?
It's
Those-
yeah, they were buying stakes in the company. They were buying shares and shares and shares, and all of a sudden
Who's
Vivendi owned them.
Don't they own someone?
It's like a big media company in France.
Hmm.
Yes, it's a big company, media company over there, kind of like Disney is over here, but they're
Oh.
just like
Yeah.
buying. They were just buying shares left and right, and then all of a sudden they were close to being the majority shareholder, which means that they had the majority seats
Oh, gross.
in the Ubisoft and their chair board, so they can actually like dictate what games they wanted them to make.
No.
Yeah.
But they managed to stave off that and have the majority shareholders still be Ubisoft.
Nice.
Seems legit.
For
I'm down with
me,
this.
I think the only other catch-up game I can really think of is Elite Dangerous. I've been playing so much in the last week. So much.
Same.
And I've
Still
never been a
are
flight
playing.
simulator person. Like, the closest I've ever come, I told people before, was like Ace Combat. And I was really bad at Ace Combat.
I hate that you even say that that's a flight simulator. I just
the
want to strangle
I'm
you.
not saying it is a flight simulator, I'm saying it's the closest.
I literally want to strangle you. I just want you to know that.
I mean, come on.
No. I finally caught up on South Park
Great.
on the
Gross.
I finally played Stick of Truth.
Oh,
And I'm actually
nice.
gonna start. Yeah, I'm probably gonna start playing soon. The Fractured, but yeah, it took me forever to play the first one just because I didn't have a 360 and then my PS3 wasn't working properly, and then the new consoles came out and I really didn't want to go back and get it on that one. And now that they gave it out for free, I actually went back and we're
might as well, right?
Yeah, might as well. Now that was the time to do it.
That's good. That's good.
I really liked it.
I'm really not interested at all in South Park, but I've heard that they're great RPGs, so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand their humor. Like, it makes me want to vomit in my own mouth. So I will never play it because of that, but I can accept that they're probably really good games.
Yeah,
Like,
and I mean, I like Obsidian.
yeah.
They're really
Something's great.
really good games, and it
Keepu does
it
it,
stays
but I like
really
Obsidian.
true to the show. Just because I mean they did have Matt Parker and or what is it, Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Yeah.
They had a really good hand in making sure that those games stayed true to their vision, and it was fantastic.
It's good. So
So
for
much so
South
that I
Park
went
fans,
back.
it's perfect.
Yeah, and so much so that I went back and I watched some of their old movies back before they actually made South Park.
Oh, nice.
It was like I was watching recently watching what is it, Cannibal the Musical,
hmm
which is one of their earlier movies. It literally is just live action South Park before South Park.
That sounds
Seems legit.
terrible. But
Yeah, it is terrible. But
Terribly
it is terrible,
legit.
But it's hilarious. Yeah.
I played Uncharted 4 this year, and
Was that not released this year either? Man, I don't even know what year it
no,
is.
this year was that other one, the spin-off.
this year was
Oh.
Lost Legacy, which I heard was good, and I will probably play in the coming months, assuming Monster Hunter doesn't take over my life in a month.
Which it will. We know
Which
it will.
will. But like Uncharted 4 was not bad, but it felt so unnecessary. Like nothing about it. Like I thought 3 ended on a really good note.
Yeah.
You could have just left 3 and have 3 be it.
That's
4
interesting.
was-
You're like the only person I know who likes 3. Everybody else thinks that like it was a terrible conclusion, and they're happy that 4
I've
happened.
never played any of them.
No, I thought like I played 3. I think the beginning of this year even. So it wasn't like I played it years ago and now I'm like Uncharted 4 sucks. No, I played 2 and 3 earlier in the year, and I played 4 a couple months ago. So I thought like 3 had its problems, but I think as a game to end a franchise,
Yeah.
it
was
ended
a good
on
way to
a
go.
here's a good note that leaves the future vague, but
Yeah.
feels reasonably closed. 4 was like, hey, this guy that you've played 3 games with and maybe read some books and also that one spin-off game has a brother he's never mentioned once in his life before.
Hey, no spoilers, bro.
Really?
Yeah,
But that's in all
actually, you
the
know,
trailers.
I don't watch trailers for games I want to play. I thought you knew that already.
I thought you had
That
already
is-
played all of them.
That is
No,
literally
I've done the
plot
first
entire
3 so
game.
far this year.
Oh.
I've done the PS Vita one. I played 1 and I played 2, and now
Oh.
I'm on 3.
Well, I apologize for that then.
I blame Nest.
Yeah, because I mean, I knew that, and I've never played the games.
Yeah, but you're not interested, so you watch trailers. Like Metal Gear Solid, for example, for 4, I didn't watch a single trailer, and I didn't play that game until like 4 years after launch. Keep in mind, still
How
didn't
do
get
you
spoilers
know
for
if
it
you want to buy a game if you don't watch the trailers?
from playing previous games.
Yeah, but what if it's like a first game?
That's different. I'm talking about like
That's just you taking a risk on something and hoping
Yeah.
for the best.
But at the same time, like I'm talking about specifically like part of franchises that I know I want something in, so I don't want it spoiled, like something like that. I'm talking.
Okay, that was my bad. But that is
Or whatever.
But anyway,
Anyways,
like
go
the
on.
thing, like they were talking about before 4 launch. Oh, you know, you have like dialogue branches that do nothing.
Seems legit.
They're just there to add some extra dialogue chit chat, and that's
boy.
cool.
Good.
They don't change the story. They don't change, as far as I know. They might. I don't know, but as far as I know, it doesn't change stories. It doesn't change anything but like what you happen to say at a specific moment, and it just felt like such a weird and unnecessary game. But on the flip side, you got some cool new features that really should have been in the entire franchise.
Good.
Like you will get
Seems legit.
when you finally play it, you'll get a thing, and you'll be like, "Why didn't I have this before?" And then you'll get really angry that you didn't have it before.
Good. Well, I mean, in all fairness, you know I really don't like the series anyways, so I'm just
Yeah.
playing through it to say I've played through it. That's pretty much it.
Don't do it.
I mean, 4 was
It
really
costs money
pretty.
to do.
Well, I mean, it came with my system, so I mean, I technically already own them. And the one I did actually buy, which is funny, I actually really liked, which is the PS Vita one. That one I paid money for, and I love that game.
Golden Abyss.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun. I just didn't like 1 and 2. I exaggerate. I keep saying I don't like things when I still do. It's just I don't think they're like that great. They're fun.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
no,
so
I-
kind of
I-
like
They
how
didn't leave it.
no, there's not a single Star Wars fan who likes Star Wars, basically.
Yeah,
Yes,
Star Wars fans don't like.
I hate Star Wars.
kind of like that. Kind of like that.
No, I think Uncharted 4 is fine, but it just feels extraneous and unnecessary.
Interesting. Well, I'll see. We'll see. But I look forward to 3. Honestly, it was interesting because I was talking to a friend about it, and I was telling him what I liked about 1, 2, and Golden Abyss, and he was like, "You know, most people don't like 3, but I have a feeling that's probably going to be your favorite." I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. It might be the case."
Like, I don't even know if I'd say 3 was my favorite. I just thought 3 was a good stop. I feel 4 exists just so they could say we put a brand new Uncharted game on the PS4.
Kind of like how every Assassin's Creed game has felt like a good stop, and then
And then they just keep going.
Just keep going, making
Like, we
more
could
and more and more.
have ended this. We should have ended this.
I think honestly the biggest thing was that they were probably trying to ride on the coattails of The Last of Us. They're like, we actually did something truly good here that most of the community legitimately agrees with as being good. And because of that, we want to carry that over to our other beloved franchise and give it a send-off in that kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what it is. And speaking of Last of Us, actually, that's actually one I actually finally got to play this year,
oh, good.
which I liked a lot, which is saying a lot because I don't like Naughty Dog. So, like, I
mean, I'm
really
glad
liked
you
it.
like
It was great.
I mean, I think I've mentioned before I didn't, but I know that it's just me, so...
Yeah, I mean, usually I really hate zombies in general. I'm so bored, but I really
I
enjoyed The Last
liked
of Us.
the design of the clickers, though. The clickers looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Also, they're called clickers, and that is great.
I thought everything about the zombie part was absolutely stupid, but Ellie made the game for me, and Ellie is precious. And that's good enough for me.
I played Kirby Robobot this year, and let me tell you what.
Aw, yeah.
It was so cute.
Aw, yeah. And Kirby's next year, dude, the new one. You gotta get a Switch in time.
Your mech
Buy me a Switch.
gets powers in Robobot, and oh my gosh,
It's awesome.
it's very good.
It's awesome. I
I
played some
can't
of the demo,
tell
and I
you.
like it.
I honestly can't tell you what the story in that game is.
It's Kirby. What are you talking about?
Doesn't have a good story.
He eat.
There's a
the
Kirby.
story?
There's some aliens, I think, and they're
Aliens
trying
turning
to,
the planet to a robot or metal or something.
they want resources. I know that.
Oh, okay.
Kirby was just upset because he wanted to go on a picnic.
Yeah, sounds like a Kirby
That
game.
seems like every Kirby. Like Kirby's just like, I'm
Let
gonna
me eat.
relax and eat this thing, and something happens. He's
Yeah.
like, man.
It's like he's trying to have a cheeseburger and it's just like something happens like
Pretty much. I guess I better save the world. I don't
The
know.
entire premise of Squeak Squad was that some dude stole his cake.
Oh man.
That
Yeah.
could-
Well, actually, I'd probably be pretty upset if somebody stole.
Oh, I would too. I feel Kirby was in the right on that, but every time I think about Squeak Squad, like he just wanted to eat some cake, and some jerks were like, "We want that," and then he murdered all of them.
Oh, good.
Beautiful.
I feel you, Kirby. I understand.
That's a story I can get behind.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's like totally like game of the year material story right there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Someone tried to take my food, and I wasn't standing for it.
I love it.
It's something we can all relate to. I mean, let's be real.
yeah.
I gotta play Final Fantasy 13 this year too, actually, which is what
Didn't
7 years it took
You
me
didn't-
to finally get
play
through it.
that already?
I started it back at launch, and then I
So I
hate
remember you
PS3,
getting
so
it.
I stopped. Yeah, and I stopped. I never finished it, and then it came on PC. I was like, I already started on PS3, and then I finally actually did it this year, and I liked it. I actually liked it a lot. I know most of the community hates it, but it's actually like one of my favorites in the series. So I was happy to play that.
The main
I
reason why that
enjoyed
game.
what I played of the first game, but I kind of wasn't like super into it. And then like once they started having a billion sequels, I was like, just give us a different number.
Yeah, I think the main reason why people really didn't like that game in general wasn't for the fact that it was a terrible game. It's just that it had a very slow beginning.
It did.
Well, and it
really
also
did.
didn't play like the Final Fantasies
Right.
people expect.
Yeah.
I mean, it played almost exactly like Final Fantasy X. Let's be real, and everybody loves that.
Yeah, but no one wants to admit that.
I suppose.
Like, I replayed 10, in the last year or so?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of hallways.
Oh, yeah. This Final
Like, 10
Fantasy
is a
X.
lot of hallways. I don't
It is. It really
I
is.
replayed it recently, and I stopped at the exact same spot I stopped in PS2. And I don't know why. I just like, okay, that's it, and then I stopped.
I don't know. I borrowed it to get my to get Jesse to play it, and he had zero interest in the story. But I would come home and he would just be grinding for me.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about
Like, I
that.
like the combat.
He did the
Awesome.
200 lightning dodge thing.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, why don't you just play the game? He's like, oh, I'm not interested in that part. Like, why don't you get good at Blitzball? And he told me Blitzball sucked, and we almost broke up. So,
Dude, you don't even nice. You don't even know how hard the lightning dodge thing was on my life. Like I felt like it was the end of my life when I tried doing that, because it took me like weeks of just frustration of just like, okay, I like missed like 199. I guess I better start over. I hated that so much, but I did it. I did do it. I'm so proud of myself, and I'm never gonna get the platinum because I don't plan on ever doing it again.
oh yeah, no, like every time I think about trying to actually platinum that game, it's like, oh yeah, on the remaster, I accidentally ran into some dark aeons, and that's a nightmare. That was a mistake I don't ever want to repeat.
Good times.
Like, I think Yojimbo just straight up blocks you from getting back to one of the towns.
Oh really?
If you're like walking, yeah, you can't even walk there anymore. The only way to get back into that town is to fly in.
Seems legit.
Alright, give me a second. My dog is misbehaving. I'll be right back.
Just bring her in. She's cool.
Like bad, like he's digging at the ground. I'll be right back.
Go.
Anyway, so I mean that's stuff we caught up on.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all
we
I
should-
really caught
we
up
should
on,
move
too.
Before that becomes
Move
a
on.
whole podcast.
I'm okay with that. We'll do one part for each topic.
No.
Oh no.
No.
Seems like
Okay.
fun.
How about trends? What happened this year that were the good trends and
Loot.
the bad trends?
Oh, loot boxes.
That's a bad trend. Okay.
But
I
it
was
is-
actually gonna
We're
say
talking about the good
EA.
ones and the bad ones.
EA is the worst trend of this
Well,
year. I'd
EA
say.
isn't really a trend so much as they've just been like a malevolent force that has existed.
Everything EA does was a terrible trend this year. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay, like, because everything they did is representative of things in the ecosystem that people want to do but are kind of playing with and haven't really done, and they were just like, "Well, just do it." And I hate
Well,
EA.
they'll just do it and do it badly.
Yeah, as in the worst way possible. I hate EA so much. So yes, EA and Destiny are my two things that they did are, I think, trends that I'm not happy with in the slightest.
Yeah, in general, everything this year in terms of loot boxes, microtransactions, there's just been so much bad. There's been some good, but mostly bad. Very, 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 very bad. What was there was some sports game. I don't know what sport, but I heard there was one that was like selling like players could make their own, like import their own images to sell on shirts in game, and then those
That
all got
sounds like
taken
a
down
thing.
through because of copyright, because people were uploading copyright stuff, of course.
Oh
And
man.
the shirts all got removed from the game, and nobody got a refund.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what game that was, but that sounds like pretty bad.
It was probably an EA game, I'm sure.
I bet it was.
I
mean,
would
it's a
put
sports
money
game, so of course
on
it's money.
FIFA or maybe PES.
Yeah, I'm thinking FIFA also, actually, because the soccer ones are usually the one that does the most like interesting customization usually.
Well, I mean, because soccer is huge in everywhere that isn't America.
Yeah. I mean, it's reasonably big here too. Let's be fair.
But not
Yeah, it's not basketball or football.
like no one
baseball.
outside of the U.S. is buying a Madden game.
I mean, there's that one person in Africa who's buying it. Okay, give that guy some credit. Okay, he loves his football, American football. Sorry. Okay.
It's weird American football that he doesn't quite understand why we play, but he loves it.
I mean, I don't think we understand.
Honestly, football has so many rules. I don't like football. I like soccer and I like hockey because they have very clear, easy rules.
I like
You
esports.
You get this thing into the goal. That's it.
Yeah.
Football's got like downs and Football is a slow-moving game. Anyway, other bad trends this year, I guess.
Tying in the microtransactions to story progression.
Oh.
Or any progression, really. Because, I mean, Battlefront, multiplayer progression. And then
Well, that's
didn't Middle-earth tie in
Oh, no.
microtransactions to the story itself, from what I heard?
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the campaign. It wasn't in the story specifically. To be fair, like I think part of the problem is everybody overreacts to everything on the internet and blows everything out of proportion. And actually, you know, despite my hate for EA, I actually think Battlefront is a perfect example of that as well. Because everybody I know who actually plays the game said it was BS what everybody was saying. Like, there was one guy I know who played for like 2 nights and unlocked all the heroes. So I'm like, how true is what people are saying? Everybody's hearing about what happened in the beta and applying that to the final product, which it wasn't necessarily true. I'm not saying that EA is in the right here, and I still hate them with a passion. I still hate what they did with Battlefront because it sets a precedent that they're willing to try this crap. But actual release wasn't as bad as it was. In the same manner, Shadow of War, the only thing that it was orc captains that you could get in loot boxes, which doesn't. It's not part of the story, and you can get orc captains from playing the game. So like, it's like, okay, if you didn't want to go out and hunt for orc captains, which is one of the funnest part of the first games, anyways, then you can buy them for those people who don't want to play the game for what's fun.
I guess that doesn't sound too bad then.
That's why I say I think the worst part is people just overreact to everything and want like to come with a pitchfork. It's like, I don't care like how bad it is. I want you to shut down. You know, that's
Well, people like being angry.
That's true. Like in Star Wars. I mean,
Yeah.
So, but that being said, yes, I still agree. It's still bad. Nonetheless, it's a bad trend. Nonetheless,
Also, Battlefront's story was bad, so jot that down, EA.
was it bad? I thought it was just not good. Like not good or bad. It was just like whatever. It's just there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was just very
Non-memorable.
It was
meaningless.
There. It happened. Luke was in it for a minute.
Oh yeah, I read about that. I don't know, man. I'm so sad that
great.
EA owns video game rights to Star Wars.
Yeah, and everyone's been saying like Disney, take that away from them. Like
seriously.
Like what Disney needs to do is just license it out on like a game by game basis to different companies.
Or reopen LucasArts.
Yeah, well.
Like, I don't see them licensing out game by game, but at least pull it away from EA's games.
I mean, that was the idea that EA was supposed to be doing that. Except when, you know, someone was making one, EA was like, actually, no, you're not. Rip.
Well, I mean, Disney was upset with EA also, so, I mean, but the problem is that I'm sure it's a contract, and they can't breach a contract at this point, so we're stuck with what we have, you know.
Well, I mean,
gonna be nothing.
Disney could offer a buyout of the contract.
I suppose.
Like, there are ways around that contract that would make
That's true, that's true. And
Welcome
Disney
back,
has
Nestor. We're talking about stuff that sucked.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
What's
Basically,
the stuff
EA.
that sucks for you?
The worst trends.
I'm pretty sure you guys already talked about the very, very, very rapid rise of loot boxes.
For roughly an hour, yes.
Yes.
Okay, then
For the
I'm all
last
caught up.
day.
Then I'm all caught up.
Pretty
All right.
much when you left, we started talking about loot boxes, and we still are.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
pretty much.
okay, then.
Honestly,
Then I'm all caught up.
like, Western loot boxing makes Japanese mobile game gacha systems look fair.
Which is saying a lot.
It's saying a lot as a person who has played enough Japanese mobile games with gachas to be like, this is some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Because at
Well,
least
I mean-
the gacha is like, hey, at least the base game's free. And I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, like, at least, like, Overwatch was only cosmetics, and a lot of MOBAs, it's like, okay, well, the base game's free, and it's still only cosmetics.
Yeah. And you can usually unlock at least a hero or two relatively easy anyway, so at least you can still play, you know, to get started.
Rainbow Six, their loot box system is terrible, but it's worthless, useless cosmetics anyway, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, loot boxes, when done right, are tolerable.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, when they're done, like, the best they can be, it's like, I guess I can kind of just ignore
Yeah.
it.
It's
Never like, oh, that's good. It's always like, it's not bad.
I can deal with it, yeah.
Or something that you can deal with and ignore instead of something that you actively have to look at and be angry at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad that we're willing to accept it though. Like we come from or at least me and Jan come from an era where like, you know, things were in our games and we could work towards unlocking that crap. Man, you're like 2 years old. Shut up.
How old do you think I?
Nestor, you're like 3, okay? But point being, we all remember back when like we could unlock stuff in the games, and like I get it to an extent. You need to make things profitable. Making games is not a cheap venture anymore. I get it, and we all get it, which is why we're reasonably accepting of you know when it's done okay. But at the same time, it's just like, why not both? You know, and a lot of people don't do both.
Like,
that's a problem.
I actually can enjoy loot boxes from time to time. In Overwatch, they're fun to open, and there's cool stuff in them, but there should also be stuff that you have to earn and not buy.
Right.
Golden guns kind of suck also, by the way. Even Blizzard admitted that.
Like the satisfying way you open loot in Rainbow Six.
Oh, I love it! Even though those bags suck, there's like a single item in them, and it's always garbage. And it could be garbage for someone you don't even own. But you get to like rip the bag open.
It's just like you rip it open, and I'm just like, yes, all right.
Just saying, Plants vs Zombies did that.
No,
well, whatever. That's not
saying. That game was fantastic. What are you talking about, dude? I feel so sad you didn't play
Plants vs Zombies that I didn't play.
I'm talking about Garden Warfare.
Yeah, I only
Warfare,
like the one that PopCap did, but I put like 3 million hours into that one.
Those ones were fun too. I'm just
don't know where that.
The ripping the bag thing was really.
I think the best thing about loot boxes this year actually was that a lot of people did some nice animations for them.
Yeah.
Like I keep thinking about
that was someone's sole job.
How Shadowverse has you like open card packs on more.
I love Shadowverse too.
Oh, do you like swipe to like rip the top or something similar?
No, you swipe to flip the cards over.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
It's very satisfying.
And that South Park mobile game that they have to tie in with the all South Park games that they're having now. Yeah. They have like, it's called Phone Destroyer, and like they're literally just like, you have different cards and like they're different characters in the show, and they pop out and they help you in battle. When you get the packs, you just like literally just with your finger just slide the pack rip open, and you can just go back and forth, and it goes.
Nice.
Nice.
That's the
little
best
things,
ever.
right? These guys.
Even
you hearing this, companies?
Even like Hearthstone, where you don't do anything, still makes it satisfying with the animations.
Yeah, because they like explode when you open
it. Explodes in your face. And then
you have to turn over each individual one. Yeah. And the fact that they have like sound effects when you like get legendaries is great.
It's like legendary.
The least satisfying is PUBG, because you only get one item and there's not even like a box. It's just like it's like you have a box open. You have this item. It's like
it doesn't even tell you. It just goes into your inventory. It's like, did I get something?
No, it does tell you. It's like, hey, you got this. But it's like, come on, give us like an animation.
Eventually later on, there's gonna be an animation.
PUBG's great, actually.
But
that's not a worst trend. What else is a worst trend?
How about we talk about good trends?
Yeah, let's
not like be negative all the time.
Good things that happened this year.
Everything coming to the Switch is my favorite good trend this year.
Yeah, Nintendo not being bad is a good trend.
I mean, they're still bad.
Third-party
Nintendo is still. Nintendo is still a large AAA company making AAA mistakes. We just forgive them because they put out Zelda game.
Yeah.
And Mario.
We let them get away with stuff that, like, we hang EA for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What the difference is that Nintendo develops good games, though EA doesn't. That's a difference. So at least we're willing to accept that. Like, that's my reason.
EA doesn't develop games; they just sell them.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. The point is that they have most of their stuff is usually pretty good, and that's why a lot of us will still keep investing in their stuff despite hating a lot of their practices. And like EA's just like, there's nothing good about anything you do. And now they own Titanfall, so that makes me even more unhappy.
Yeah.
So, there's that. But good trends, yes. I'm happy that everything's coming to the Switch. I want everything to be on the Switch, and all I play is Uno and Monopoly on my Switch now. So
I
feel
for
like I
like
want
the
all
past
these games so I can continue to play Uno.
for
Yeah.
the past like
download Metal Slug,
week,
people. Just download
I'm
Metal
just
Slug.
like
That's all you need.
I'll be like I don't know, like playing Elite Dangerous or doing whatever else, and I'll just be like, you know what, actually, just have my phone. I'll play like I'll do like a crossword puzzle or like play chess or something dumb, like whatever.
Nice. Distractions are nice.
Tetris, still the best game
things,
2017.
I like that esports are making bigger waves in America.
Yeah.
Like showing things like the Evo finals on ESPN, I thought was pretty cool.
Despite some of the stupid things some of the people...
Esports
Oh
have a
yeah,
long way to go,
despite
but
how
they're getting there.
salty people get about that.
Yeah.
Like my supervisor said he was at a Buffalo Wild Wings and they had it on one of the TVs. I was like, oh, that's
That's
actually
great.
kinda cool.
Yeah.
Legit.
I was like, you probably saw me in the background. My T-shirt was covered in eyeballs.
Nice.
Oh no, it was, and like there's footage of me in like the press crowd because they just let me run around the floor. Man, you guys got to come out to Evo next year. We'll all get press badges and just run around. They don't question anything.
Just run around and throw things back and forth to each other. Catch.
Well, they let me hang out on the floor, get up like basically as like up on the edge of the stage. They let me go up into the press box where they were actually filming ESPN stuff.
Nice.
Like it was
That's legit.
pretty great. And
I would
people
like to-
would like pose for you for photos, like trying to take crowd shots.
I'm down.
I like that free to play is continuing to be like a valid format people do. It's nice.
I am too. I think people need to be okay with the idea of paying for things in free to play.
Yeah. I do also like that there have been some games that could have been free to play that weren't and actually benefited. Actually,
Like-
Battlerite ended up going free on release, but during alpha, Battlerite was pay to enter, and it was great, and they spent so much time working on it, and they got all that funding just from people buying the game. It was great.
Nice.
Battlerite is a great game.
Good.
Free updates and content becoming more
Oh,
prevalent
yes.
as time goes on.
Thank God. Finally.
Last,
Finally. Something we should have had. I think it's actually Microsoft's fault that got into that trend of having to pay for content to begin with.
yeah.
Was the Xbox
I mean,
360?
things used to be like free updates.
Yeah, exactly. Everything was free before, and then the most we do is pay for an expansion, which pretty much felt like a full game anyways. And then Microsoft was like, so,
Map
we got this
packs.
thing called the Xbox 360, and we're going to charge you horse armor. Okay,
Oh.
thanks,
No,
thanks
just
guys.
think back to like Halo and the map packs. Put maps in games.
Like I said,
free.
Microsoft, that's actually a good point, yeah. They've been doing it since the original Xbox.
I mean, for me, like my first introduction to Halo map packs was with 3, but like I had played 2, but I had never like owned a 2. I played it at other people's houses and stuff. But when I eventually did get 2, and it was like, oh, you have to buy a separate disc with all the map packs on it. I was like,
Yep.
no.
It was so weird at the time, yeah, and now that's a standard. Like, dang. So yeah, thanks Microsoft. I hate
Just
you
show
for
what
doing
people
that.
are willing to pay for.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is funny because now they're the ones who've been championing free stuff. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Like, make up your...
Well, you know, you get different people in charge, and they're like, yeah, we
That's
got
true, that's
Yeah.
true. I mean, you know, you guys all already know I love Microsoft, but I just hate... I can't... There's no way I could hide from that. They were stupid about introducing that to begin with. But I am glad Phil Spencer is more open to trying to nudge the company in the right direction. Till he's gone, and then we get trash again.
Oh yeah, and then even going back to Rainbow Six Siege, with the season pass, like every time they release a group of operators, I think they usually come with a map too, but the map is free for everyone. You don't have to buy it.
Right,
What a crazy concept.
right. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Like, you shouldn't limit me from being able to play the game with everybody else. Like, operators, I can understand making really hard to get, maybe forcing people to pay for it. But yeah, maps should never be something you pay for.
Yeah, and I mean, operators are only hard to get from me because I bought the wrong version of the game.
Did
Otherwise,
we buy the same one?
I bought the starter edition. I don't know about you.
Yeah, we bought the same one.
Yeah, so it's everything's a grind. But yeah.
Pretty much.
What other games did good free things? Or
That was
used
this
money
year,
in
I
a
don't
way that
remember.
wasn't bad?
Not Final Fantasy.
Definitely not Star Citizen. Could put that in the worst column.
I mean, that's not a game yet, though. So I mean,
Yeah, exactly. So the most
Could-
recent thing
yeah.
Star Citizen is selling, because they've always been selling stuff from the beginning. They did
Right.
a Kickstarter for the game. I actually backed the Kickstarter. Whenever the game eventually comes out, I do have a copy, and I'm sure I paid like less than half of what it's eventually going to cost too. But you can buy ships for a game that's not out yet, and they are expensive.
God,
People have
yeah.
spent hundreds, thousands on ships in a game that's not out yet.
Can you?
And
Not
now,
Star Citizen in 2018.
now you can buy. You can basically pre-order a plot of land in the game.
Stop them.
Then you can't use it.
Yep.
That's great.
I think
Wonderful.
if that game ever happens, it won't. But if it does, it'll be great. But it won't. And people have just thrown so much money at them. Mark Hamill's over there like, hey, I'm in it. Apparently they put out like an hour of Squadron 42 footage, which is the single-player campaign. That might actually come out next year. Who knows? Still not Star Citizen.
No.
But, I mean, at least we'll maybe get, like, the part with Mark Hamill in it, so whatever.
Right.
And Andy Serkis and whoever else is in it.
Great. We'll
At
see.
least
We'll see.
they put out daily
You know what? You know what's a bad
updates.
trend? Games not completely released selling shit.
Yeah. PUBG,
Like,
love
DLC
PUBG, one of my
DLC
favorite games of
content
the year,
for
but
beta games, or was it pre? What is it?
Early access
Early
games.
access games.
Early
yeah.
access.
early
yeah.
access has to die. I hate it.
Like, if you want me to pay for a beta, period, I'll pay for a beta, period. If you're
Oh,
selling me,
you know what?
period.
A couple days ago when I was at the mall, I told you, Tipu, when I was there, I was in GameStop for a minute, and
Poor soul.
yeah, right. There was an ad for PUBG. Nestor, I'm sure you've probably heard it since you work there.
Mm.
It was like really excitedly telling you, and the game is in early access. So when you buy it, it's not even the full game yet, and it's like,
What a terrible selling point.
right?
No.
It's trying to-
Now I want to buy it.
Yeah, like look at all this game you get, and there's even more. And it's like, no, actually, what you just
There's
said
more
is
coming.
you don't even get the game.
Trust
when you
me.
buy it.
So what you're actually telling me is, look at all the game I can't get. Like,
Yeah.
Look at all
I
this
like how
game.
they were
And you know-
running that ad like weeks
you know what's
after
stupid?
the game has released out of early access. But
And what's stupid is because I mean those ads run for the whole month that
of course they do.
it's released. So I mean if it comes out like let's say the 3rd of like December, then that still runs for the rest of the month, which is stupid. But yeah, it's stupid. What's dumb is I mean that PUBG you don't even get a disc. It's a code in a box that has stickers and a code.
what, even for the console versions, really?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
I did believe
Then
that,
for
yeah.
the Xbox version, it's a code in a box with stickers that say PUBG on it.
Great.
Shit.
Nice.
And at least you
What
get
a
a box.
waste of
It's a good
packaging.
game. But,
You get packaging?
Great.
Yeah.
You get
Okay,
packaged.
You
wait,
know,
I'm gonna buy
That's
PUBG
not
right now.
eco-friendly, and you shouldn't buy it just on that principle.
I just
Buy
buy
it
it
on
for the
Steam.
stickers.
Nah.
Great.
Nah. How about I
Right.
buy it on nothing? I think
I'm
that's
gonna buy it on the Switch.
I will continue to
I'll buy
not-
it if it comes on the Switch, actually. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean it's like a gross, outdated engine. It could probably run on the Switch.
Oh,
I
I'm
say
sure.
it's actually like the I think
It's not.
uh,
It's not the visuals that will kill
not,
it on the Switch.
Not,
It's
not
supporting
Crytek, the other
100
one.
people in a game.
Unreal. It's on Unreal actually, so it's not a bad engine. It's just they just
How many
didn't make
players is it?
PUBG.
Yeah.
100?
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, good luck with Nintendo's network.
Yeah, it's the netcode that'll kill
Yeah.
it on the Switch.
Sweet. Well, that escalated
Uh,
quickly.
Yeah, it's too bad that they used such a great, powerful engine and then didn't make any of their own assets. Whoops.
Okay. What are you guys, BioWare?
They just went like on the what's it called, Unreal store, and just I guess bought all the pre-made.
Oh, I was
assets.
gonna say
Like,
Turbo
just
Squid. That's probably
throw
even
this
cheaper.
together as a game. I mean, I don't know what store they actually used, but it's all
I mean,
just
that's
like
what-
here's some like default dirt to walk in or whatever. It's a fun game. It's ugly. It's very ugly, and the
Dirt
business
isn't even
practices
that
have
hard
not
to make. You
been
go
great.
outside, you take a picture, and you like tile it in Photoshop.
Yeah, especially with our 4K cameras on our phone.
Always remember
Dude.
when Mad Max came out a few years ago, and like that game was nothing but desert, and yet it was so pretty somehow.
You can
And,
make
I
a
mean,
pretty
Journey?
desert. Journey is
Journey?
nothing but like sand and a scarf. It's
Sand in a scarf. I like
a very pretty game.
Mm.
it.
So what did we wish we played this year?
Oh, so much.
Oh no.
So much.
Basically everything that you guys played, I wish I played.
Uh,
I think that's everything on my list actually.
You guys are
Like I
you guys are
want to
gonna
play Hellblade. I want to play Cuphead.
Yeah, Cuphead, Nier. I
definitely,
wish I had played.
Pyre.
You guys played.
I can
wish-
say like I wish I played Pyre because pre-ordered it, played a bunch of it, didn't finish it, still haven't finished it. Might
Wait, Pyre was.
Good?
might finish it.
Was it enjoyable?
Very. It was a very good game. Like I think it was my favorite of the Supergiant games, all of them. But I just didn't finish it.
You just forgot you owned Pyre?
No, it was just like one day I was like, okay, I'm done for the day, and then I just didn't go back, and I was like, oh, just I had really enjoyed it, and then I just kind of moved on.
Yeah, I think
It's a
Pyre was
very
like
good
over the
game.
summer.
like I wish I
Very,
would
very
have played Horizon, the
Yeah.
Zero Dawn.
Horizon is really good.
I wish I would have actually played Persona 5. I still
Oh my
might
God.
eventually get around to it. Just let me use my keyboard.
Man, at Hot Topic in the mall, I have Ryuji's shirt on
Nice.
hold.
Nice.
I wonder if
Cool
it's cheaper
t-shirt.
to get it through Hot Topic than through my figure site that I ordered.
It is. It's buy one get one half off on T-shirts.
Oh snap! We're all going to
That
Hot
one,
Topic
and then I
tomorrow.
How many
And
of like Ryuji's shirts do they got? I need them.
They have a lot, and they have a lot, and they just have his shirt, and they have the Shujin Academy black T-shirt. That's the black T-shirt and has
Oh.
the logo
I
on
don't
it.
want that. Ryuji had like 3 or 4 shirts, and my figure site had all of them, but they were like $40 a piece.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I was like,
These shirts are $22.99. It's buy one get one free, or free. Buy one
Half
get one
off.
half off.
Half off. Yeah.
I mean, if I got one of Mona just saying we should go to sleep,
I wish they had that, and they don't, and it makes me sad, and I wanted to yell at you.
I love my shirt so much. Man, I wish I played Samus Returns.
Cat
Oh,
Quest.
dude.
I should play Cat Quest.
So good too.
I wish I played Night in the Woods. Everyone
Oh
said
yeah,
that
Night in the Woods. Yes.
I didn't play Firewatch again. Very upset.
didn't
Finding
play,
Paradise just came out.
What is
Been
that,
like waiting for that
you
game
did
for
mention-
years, and it just came out of nowhere with no like fanfare that I ever heard. I didn't hear an announcement. I was just on the Steam store and was like, oh, it's out.
Oh,
What?
Ninja Place.
Like,
What
I-
are they? Nintendo?
Haven't been able to get that yet, but like what? It's the sequel to the Moon.
Right.
Like been waiting for that forever, and just all of a sudden, oh, hey, it's out. By the way, just right here, like the end of the year when nobody's buying games.
I mean,
Buying new
to be
games anyway.
fair, it's. I mean, they're as indie as you can get.
Yeah, I mean it's an RPG
So, I mean-
Maker game, but
Yeah.
still, like considering the massive amount of people who like To the Moon, I thought like maybe. But
Yeah, but you
oh,
know, marketing costs money, and
Yeah. I don't
And
think To
people
the
are-
Moon was ever marketed either.
The best
Exactly.
marketing is just word of mouth.
It's true. It's true. I wish, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate by anybody who watches it, people, but actually, like, besides like the obvious ones like Mario Odyssey and like Nier and stuff like that, the ones I wish I had played that I actually really wanted to were Mass Effect and Assassin's Creed. Actually, like Origins seemed really interesting. I've been wanting an Egyptian one since like the first one. And the fact that they did that really excited me, and I was like, I want to play this, but I never did. And Mass Effect, I mean, I love the series, and no matter what anybody says about how bad it might be, BioWare hasn't disappointed me, so I'd still want to play it. but I didn't, and I'm mad at myself for not playing.
There's a bunch of just times where it was like, oh, that looks like a really interesting indie game. I don't even remember them now, and I'm still like, I wish I'd played more indie games.
In general.
Get a Switch?
It costs a lot of money.
There's like nothing but indie games on it anyway. That's all I play on it.
Yeah, but that
It's
requires
great.
me to buy the Switch first.
I mean, Nestor said he'll buy it for you, right? So
Oh,
you're good.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, I got.
I still have yet to see one in a store.
Really?
Dude,
Like,
we
they're
had a
everywhere
ton.
here.
We had a ton, man.
You know what? You're just not going to stores. That's all.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, when I went I went to like Walmart. I wasn't looking for it, but I mean, going through that section, like, oh, there's no Switches. Then later, the GameStop and like the Best Buy and a bunch of other places, like, oh, there's no Switches here. And I'm just like, every
We
time
had
I've
a
been to
lot,
like
man.
a store in the past this entire year, I haven't seen a Switch.
I mean, in all fairness, you live in the middle of...
Yeah, but I
Just
mean,
say-
like, there's still places that sell things.
Dude, I live in Ventura. That's as far in the middle of nowhere that you can get. And every single store within like a 30-mile radius has Switches and stuff.
Yeah, see, so should my middle of nowhere, and yet.
No, it's because nobody likes your middle of nowhere.
Oh.
That's the difference.
I'm telling
People
you.
think
that's
it's pretty
how all
here or
Switches
something.
will come by. They're like, oh,
I think in the last.
Yeah,
In
they
the
just,
last-
totally, they just throw him in the trash. All right, he's
Okay.
here. Let's throw him.
I think in the last 2 months, I've had over. I want to say over 60 to 70 Switches in store.
Oh, wow. Buy me
It's
one.
like, yeah. No. People
People will pay you back.
I will over the course of 10 years.
Yeah, see?
Someone buy me one for the wedding. Jesse won't be registry.
Why not?
He says it's poor to ask people to buy his video games,
No.
Why?
and that
No.
a $300 gift is a little expensive.
I mean, nobody has to buy it. There's nothing wrong with asking.
That's what I said.
All you have is just that one person that's like, you know what? That's what
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly. That's all you need. That one person is going to be Justin.
Well, my coworkers know I want one, so maybe they'll pull together and get us one. That'd be rad.
get. Or maybe you put it on that, and then 4 people buy you 4 different Switches.
I like this story.
Yeah.
And then you can send me one.
I mean, wasn't the Switch the best-selling console of this year?
Was it? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it is. I'm
think
actually
it
trying to
was.
look up lists right now, and it looks like,
Like,
it
I
is.
know PlayStation announced that they had sold a bunch, but it was worldwide, like, since launch.
Yeah,
I don't know
think
if they're-
I think it was the Nintendo Switch, then followed by the SNES Classic, and then after that it was PS4.
It can't be the SNES Classic. They didn't even make enough to be.
They made, like,
As
half.
best selling, everything they sent out was sold out.
I mean,
but,
when you
like,
have
numbers
5 and you
wise-
sell them all,
It's not like selling out of a
It's not
million.
about percentage.
I'm talking about unit count.
Yeah, I mean,
count.
like, they could just make one and, like, hey, we sold 100%.
That's what Microsoft did with the Xbox. What was it with the One X in Japan? They only sent certain retailers
One.
like 5, or like 3 or 4 of them, and then when they sold out, they had a sign that says like "We're sold out," like all like happy things, and it was like marketing.
I'm surprised they're still trying to push in that market, to be honest. It's obviously not going to happen. Microsoft, just
Yeah.
stop. Just play to your strengths. Like, just stop. But yeah, the Nintendo Switch 10 million, it looks like, is what its approximate number is right
That's
now.
pretty good.
Nice.
That's, yeah, like, good job, Nintendo. Where'd you guys come from all of a sudden?
They're right on par for this coming 2018 to overtake the Wii, hopefully.
Yeah.
The Wii?
What was the Wii? Let's see. I actually have the list here anyways. Oh, yeah, they're not gonna, no. No, we're close to the Wii. The Wii, the year of release was 101 million. So, that's a lot more than 10 million, so that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but then again, like, everyone and their grandma literally had them.
Including people that died for it. So.
Good times. Now, actually, now I'm curious. What is the most best-selling console of all time the year of release? I'm gonna look this up.
PS2,
Yes.
I believe.
PS2 at over 155 million.
The PS2 followed by, what, the 3DS family? Or the DS family?
The DS actually 154. 2004, the year
we
of
know
release.
things without needing a list.
Pretty good. But we should probably move on because
Yeah,
we're like
I was
spending all
gonna
our time
say-
on two topics.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
gonna say,
biggest disappointment slash thing you regret buying.
Oh, I was gonna say we might as well just go really quick into just tie that into what was the platform everyone used the most. I'm not even part of this PC, but like you guys who actually play
Obviously.
other platforms.
I probably played the most on my PS4 because there was just a lot of games I wanted that came out on it this year.
Yeah, PS4 and PC.
Switch and 3DS are tied, I think. 3DS is only because of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's Switch. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think it's more of just because of the situation I'm in right now, so that's all I really can play comfortably. But I don't regret any minute of it, so that's good.
It's really nice to see that it seems like it's been a year where just a bunch of platforms have a bunch of stuff, and like people are spending their time on everything.
Except for Microsoft.
Yeah, I was gonna say, except for the Xbox.
Yeah.
Unless that's all you have.
Anything that exists on Xbox, just play it on PC. So
Yeah, but I mean, they haven't really released any big exclusives. What I mean, like,
Well, because they keep canceling.
yeah.
or delay.
Maybe if Scalebound had ever come out.
Please don't remind me.
Scalebound wasn't canceled.
Oh my god.
Okay, but yeah, what was the one you wanted to move on to, Jen?
Oh, like biggest disappointment or regret purchase-wise.
Oh, well, I mean, Battlefront 2, disappointment. Glad I didn't buy it, though.
A second 3DS.
Oh yeah, dude, I have two also now, actually.
Stupid Pikachu 3DS got me. And
Oh, I was so close. I almost got that too. No, I got the Samus one. I couldn't.
As much as I hate saying this, probably the Parappa the Rapper remaster.
Aw.
Why was
I
it no
forgot
good?
about
Really?
that.
It was 45 minutes long.
Oh, yeah, right.
What was versus
I
the cost? What was,
Like $10.
Yeah.
right on
Nice.
par with the visual novel.
I was gonna say mine is probably visual. I spent money on, but I mean, realistically, it was Stardew Valley. I actually didn't like the game even a little bit. I'm really mad I spent any money on that game.
In terms of disappointment, even though, again, I didn't play it, Wolfenstein 2, everything I've heard about it has just sounded like they ruined it. Like, they went completely
It was
downhill from the
generic.
last game.
It was
Yeah.
generic as hell.
Was it really? I was hearing the exact opposite.
Like,
I mean,
everyone I
it's-
know that played it just said it was hard and not fun.
Yeah,
From all the
they
trailers
purposely
and stuff, I'm
made
like,
it-
this looks great.
They
And then,
purposely made it where you had to just run around and hopefully you get lucky with getting ammo, weapons.
it
stuff
sounded
like,
like they just made it hard for no reason, and that the story was just really bland. The characters weren't good. The humor wasn't good. I'm just like, that's like, those are the things that Wolfenstein has always been good at doing, and they did it so well with the last one.
Did you play it, Nestor?
Well, I played a bit. I played like an hour and a half into it, and then yeah, that's all I played. They'll just leave it at that.
That's a shame.
Interesting.
I want to go back. I want to go back and play more of it, but I have other things that I want to play.
This like legit. Actually, it looks like a Star Wars thing. I'm looking at review scores for this, and like it's really high critic reviews across all of the systems, and like user reviews are low.
No, the only people I listened to were actually critics, but not like
Yeah,
website
that's weird.
critics who give numbers, though, so that's why.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because it's like an 87 average. Like that's pretty good.
Oh shit. Okay. I'll be
Usually
right back.
games
My-
that I'm
my pizza's
disappointed
here.
in get high critical scores. Fallout 4.
I mean, Fallout is trash. So,
But
but yeah,
it's
fair
too
enough.
bad Nestor just left, because I was gonna say Destiny 2, everything post-release, actually. Because that game was actually one of my biggest surprises.
Bless-
That, like, everything in vanilla was so much better. I was like, wow, this is amazing. They improved the game in so many ways. And then the first expansion comes out, and I'm like, huh? I didn't finish it.
Good.
Just,
good.
huh?
See, I prepared myself for this. I was just like, they already disappointed me left and right in the first one, so the second one wasn't disappointment. It was exactly what I expected it to be.
It's just
And
like, the game was so much better than the first one. And then it's like, well, the first one, the expansions made it better. And with this one, it's like, so first, they take away content. Then they were like, oh, sorry, we'll give it back. But it's like, well, you still did it. The expansion was kind of weak. Like, I mean, the story seemed interesting, but
Doggy!
nice. Good replacement. Good, like, since Nestor's not here, just get the dog on the headset.
Yeah, we don't want to see you, Nestor. Leave.
Nestor, I was just about to talk about the... Oh, well. Yeah, let's hear the dog section.
Okay, about what?
Oh, about, well, I was talking about Destiny and post-launch and how it got worse.
Of how they completely ruined a good thing.
Yeah, because I thought the base game was so much better than the first one. And I loved it. It was originally going to be one of my top 5 games of the year until I just kind of stopped playing it and replaced it with something else. And I'm just like, well, the expansion wasn't great. I didn't finish it. The story seemed alright. The fact that they're releasing an Osiris comic, I'm like, I'll probably read that. Osiris seems interesting. But the campaign itself for the expansion was just,
It was okay at best. I mean, they could have done so much better with it, but...
And then the fact that they were like, oh, and we're going to add new raid content, it's just a shorter one inside the same place as the vanilla.
It's like, we're going to add new raid content, which means we're going to lock the hard mode behind a paywall.
Oh yeah, that's so dumb.
And then they turned it around. They're like, okay, sorry, we'll fix it. They didn't fix all of it. Prestige strikes and stuff are still locked.
They've ruined the Dawning.
Yeah, they did that like 3 times. They did like ruined stuff and then they backtracked on it.
When they had that, whatever, was it the Oracle lens? The super gun? The unstoppable one where everyone's like, this is terrible, it needs to be nerfed. And they're like, nerfed, you say? What if everybody gets one? Yeah, I didn't play PvP that weekend. Oh yeah, and then after that, then they were like, okay, now we're gonna nerf it. And they even, I think, I don't know if it was just everyone was saying it was happening based on stats, or if they themselves said it, but they nerfed it, they over-nerfed it. They were like, okay, we're just gonna make it better over time, but right now we're just gonna make it worthless.
Yeah. It's just like Destiny Year 1, where they're like, oh yeah, shotguns, you say. Let's make everything else worse and keep shotguns the same. Alright.
But yeah, it's like, that game turned from like such a massive surprise into, oh, again.
It has
in like a week. It went from like, wow, this is great, before the expansion came out, to, oh.
Yeah. I played the expansion. It literally took me all of about like an hour and a half to do the majority of the content, and then I was like,
really disgusting. Are you serious?
Glad I didn't pay for any of this. Sorry, thank you GameStop for giving me that for free.
God, that's
again.
I feel so bad because both games are mechanically really well made.
It is one of the mechanically best shooters I've ever played, honestly.
Yeah, they both of them really are.
So much smoother too, and it's great.
Fun just to play. It's
mechanically, it's like almost perfect.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, actually, what if none of it is good?
What if we make sure that it doesn't like? I'm done.
It's like, hey, you like fun using this gun? Cool, let's ruin it and then make someone else's favorite gun the best gun in the game. And then ruin that, and then move on to somebody else's favorite gun, and then go back and forth, and then...
I hate it.
And also, Eververse sucks.
Oh yeah, they fucking ruined, the Dawning this year with their, like, little, winter event. Literally everything is behind silver paywall.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah. All the good items you want to get, you have to buy silver so you can buy.
Is it all still cosmetics?
It's still cosmetics to a point.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's not really cosmetic wise is the what's these called? Your mods, the mods that you get, which then you can break down the mods to get more mods and then get better. And then,
that mod system was not
the mod system is terrible.
Best. No, and what they did with shaders was the worst. Also.
See, I'm not really mad about that, considering the fact that I have like an abundance of shaders to the point where I can't pick up new shaders.
I don't like, but then the ones I do like, none.
I have like 2 of.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Destiny 2 post-launch just bad. Ruined
Still fun to play.
It had so much potential too. It was like, wow, they fixed everything, and then they broke it again.
I guarantee you, this is what happened. The part of Bungie that knows how to make mechanics stayed. The part that knows how to make content that works went to 343. I guarantee that's exactly what happened, because like 343, their content has been fantastic. I mean, love or hate the story, everything's flowed well, and the content has been solid as far as
And see, I never got into the
usability.
story. With their first one was 4, right?
Yeah,
Like, I never
yeah.
really got into the story because mechanically I was like, I'm tired of this. I want just give me back like Reach or 3 or something. I was like,
Right,
Yeah.
right,
it
yeah.
feels bad.
Yeah.
And the
Spartan
Destiny
Ops
felt
was
so
cool.
good.
That was one of the best parts of that game.
Yeah, the story was really good in 4. 5 was
Didn't play 5. It's
don't. It was
shouldn't
terrible.
make
Like the story
games
is so
console
bad that it
exclusives.
literally has no bearing on the franchise.
Yeah.
Good.
It's that bad. Like
I
it
love
plays
that.
on a little thing that they talk about in the novels and then blow it up into a story in a whole entire game. I'm like,
Oh,
all right.
so it's Reach, except they pretended it was a sequel to the rest of it instead of a side game.
No.
Yeah, but except Reach was an adaptation of a novel. This, like, literally
Reach was an entire
takes
novel.
one little part.
This is
It
like
basically
a
takes,
paragraph
like-
in a novel, and then they
Yeah.
make an entire game out of like one sentence.
Like in the novels they talk a lot about how Cortana is like going to go rampant, basically. Yeah, rampant. And because and like they explore that with the AI concept in the books over and over again. And then this whole game is literally just about that. Like,
Yes.
okay, that's cool. Like what happened to everything that happened in 4? What's going on with the Forerunners?
Yeah.
Nah, that's not important, guys.
It's like, hey, you see
Okay.
everything that's happened? You know that one line in that one book? That's
Yeah, let's turn a whole game into. Oh my god, I hate
boy.
5 so much. It's so pretty and it plays so well too. It's what makes me. I played the series for campaign, so I never went back to 5 after the campaign.
Mhm.
So
We still got to do that on Legendary.
Yeah, I mean, I always played
I'm
it
down.
for multiplayer, but still really enjoyed the campaigns too.
the multiplayer's good. It's really good in 5. Like it's, in all honesty, like coming from
I
Reach,
mean,
which is my
from what
favorite
I-
in the series.
From what I played in the
Really good.
the Forge mode available
Yeah.
on PC, where you can actually play some multiplayer, it feels great.
Oh, I think you would love it if they ever release it on PC. I will 100% play that with like legit.
Yeah,
play
I
with
mean,
you.
I would
love it.
like to play Halo on PC.
They
I'm
do
sure
right
like
as
Halo
well.
6,
Their loot system is
whenever
fine
it
as well
happens,
on Halo 5.
will
Right? Yeah, and all their content's free,
Nice.
so no more buying map
like,
packs.
The heroic map pack, the legendary
Nope.
map pack.
No, none
Nope.
of that. None of
Everything's
that. All the
free.
maps come out free, and then
Yeah.
everything that you get in those loots is just cosmetic.
Yeah,
And
well,
then-
not everything, but
Oh, and then
mostly everything.
The multiplayer edge of the like getting like the gear, but even then, I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't know how to use the gear properly, you're gonna mess it up in like 2 seconds.
Remember Battlefront 1, how it did the star cards you can get in, like, or better yet, Titanfall. You know how you could get those things
Hated that
Yeah.
Battlefront.
that like they kind of help you, but you don't like. If you're a good player, it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that was. Like in one game mode, you could get like vehicles and stuff from cards, but you could also buy them when you're playing. Also, it's just
Yeah.
so it's like whatever. That was Halo. But anyways,
The
moving
cards in
on.
Battlefront were bad. I hated.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why I switched Titanfall as a better example.
Yeah. What else was I mean, personally, just because there was nothing I was interested in, BlizzCon, just
That was
Usually
disappointing.
BlizzCon is like a really big thing for me. Like every year I'm like, oh wow, a lot of stuff I liked. And this year I'm kind of like, I don't even remember BlizzCon this year.
Oh, see, I was the
Like
opposite.
a WoW
I was excited
because
about
I don't play,
everything.
I'm not going to play WoW anymore, so.
Oh,
Like,
man,
hey,
that
you know
now.
what? As
Say that
soon as they
now.
make it free to play, I'll reinstall it. But I actually did just uninstall WoW for the first time in like years. Because I'm like,
But they
I'm
won't.
not going to pay for that anymore, and it's taking up so much space.
You know, there's a lot of legitimate rumors that are going around. The game is actually they're starting to work phasing it out.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that. I've been hearing that for around a year or
See,
so.
like all the
hey,
rumors I've heard is just that like Blizzard is firing a bunch of people.
Oh no. Blizzard,
Oh, no,
don't do
well,
this.
The rumors I was seeing was based on narrative, like the actual narrative. Like if for those of us who have been playing from the beginning, like they're actually leading towards an ending now.
Oh.
Like
Huh?
everything's leading towards that.
And
so,
then
like-
Warcraft 4, what?
No, I think they might just end Warcraft, to be honest, and then just move
I
on to
would
something
be
else.
completely fine with that, actually. Like,
So,
Blizzard has been so confined to, like, 4
The 3 franchises.
Yeah.
Yeah, now
well,
4,
3,
yeah.
and then now 4th just came out.
Yeah.
Like, let them expand. I also want to see them make a game that isn't, like, a major franchise. I just want to see them make, like, a game, and then move on after that. Just, like, one
I mean,
thing, without a million sequels
I don't
and
know how
universe and
realistic
novels.
that'll be out of
I mean,
Yeah. And I mean,
There's
I
Hearthstone.
like all their massive connected universes and all their side stuff, but I just would like to see how they do with just a single disconnected game.
Oh, I just meant, like, I don't think Activision would just let them do things.
No. But, well, actually, no, because doesn't Blizzard have pretty much control over themselves?
They pretty
For
much
the most
do,
part?
Essentially, yeah.
because it's more of a partnership than it is an ownership.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I still think Activision would have a lot of weird say in, like, the future.
Probably, maybe.
Yeah,
Or maybe
they'll have a
even
lot of,
the,
like-
the Activision Blizzard side of Blizzard, like the actual business people who aren't the ones that you see coming out and saying they're one of the guys from the Overwatch team.
it's possible, but I don't necessarily agree, mainly because they have multiple teams working in all their franchises, so they can take that risk and still keep doing all the stuff that makes money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't actually think that would be a problem. I just don't know if they ever would, because personally I think they're happy where they're at.
And that is the thing,
So-
too, since every one of their games is a different group of people, a
Yeah.
new game does require one of those groups to move on.
Yeah,
Like-
or hire a completely new team.
Yeah,
you know?
like a bunch of
expensive.
the people on Overwatch used to be in, like, Warcraft.
Right.
Or probably Diablo, too, because, I mean, well, where
Might have been both.
Where'd Diablo go, huh?
They were
Yeah, I
working
mean,
on
it's
an
probably
MMO
from, like,
originally,
all
right?
their,
So
yeah. I love
Makes it-
Overwatch, it's great.
They're gonna
I
end,
wish,
they're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
end
fun.
wish Diablo
World of Warcraft and move on
existed.
to Universe of Warcraft.
It's already been Universe of Warcraft. They have like 7 planets you can go to now or whatever.
yeah, I mean, this whole expansion was about going to space, and
Yeah, and then just expand that. Make
oh,
Star
dude, I
Citizen.
love it so
Oh,
much.
no. Warcraft put
Oh.
in Star Citizen. Can't wait.
No. But while we're talking on a little more positive, we talk about our most amazing moments for this year in gaming.
The last bullet hell you have to do in Nier Automata.
Nice.
Most like
Like, yeah,
There
I
are a
cannot
lot
go
of-
into it.
it was such a long story. There are a lot of climaxes, and almost all of them were definitely like standout moments of the year. That game had so many like moments that were like, wow, I love this game.
No, the implications of that last bullet hell just... I mean, I cried a little. It had really, really, really good dramatic music.
Nice.
Like, I know you're going to play it eventually, so I don't really
Definitely
want to
do. You have to.
I
play it,
will.
Actually.
It
I'm
is
this close to ordering it because it's on sale right now.
Do it now before it goes off of
Like-
sale.
that last bullet hell through the credits is just... It's got good music. It's a hard bullet hell. Cool things happen. Weird stuff gets implied. And I'm not even talking about, like, the ending. Just things that happen to help with the bullet hell. I cry a lot.
Nice. That's legit.
It was a very good game, and probably most of the best moments of the year came from that.
Nice.
Well, I mean, no, the best moment in gaming in 2017 was being able to put the Persona 5 cast in the Catherine costumes.
I thought you were going to say being able to
Good
put
deal.
the Persona 5 disc in the console. And,
well,
I
that
mean,
too, right?
also a good moment. Very good.
That's true.
um,
That is true.
Let's just
or
take a moment
actually, there was also
and
when
appreciate
Kojima came out on stage
Persona.
and said, "Oh yeah, really weird."
Nice, Nestor.
Or when
Yes.
Griffin McElroy ate the banana. Or
Or when
That's
Kojima
important.
gave us another trailer.
well,
It-
that's
it-
always.
Or
Yeah.
we actually got to
actually
see
gave
Death
us-
Stranding too.
Some kind of information, like actually interested in something that looks more substantial than we saw the first time.
No,
It
best
was
moment
a great
ever.
trailer. I
in
love
gaming.
the new trailer too.
The best
Same.
moment in gaming this year. It's just in the trailer. Death Stranding. Maybe thumbs up.
Just the trailer, yeah. I can understand that. It was really well done trailer.
I mean,
Winning-
the best gaming moment of 2018 is when we find out Death Stranding is a hot battle garbage.
Oh god, I can't wait.
Or when we find out that it's canceled and it's not actually.
Oh no.
It's free to play.
It is Kojima's excuse to spend Sony's money to, like...
Yeah, and they're letting them. They're just like,
Right.
here's our wallet, take it. It's like, here's our wallet, make something.
He's probably doing it just as a middle finger to too. Let's be real.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
He's just like, hey, look, at least somebody me. Like,
I can't wait for a Hideo
Oh.
Kojima game to be bigger than the title on the box.
oh, I need it. I need it.
Like, Jesse's
should-
like, do you really think that this game's gonna, like, alienate people. I'm like, I don't think you understand what Kojima wanted to do for some of the Metal Gear games.
Yeah.
He wanted the fight with the end to be 2 weeks long.
And considering, wasn't
Seems
there something where, like, I don't know if this was recently or just someone talking about past work with him, where someone was like, really? And he was like, yes. And, like, everyone's like, I don't believe anything that he's telling me to do, but we're doing it.
Nice.
And this
I
should
mean,
be-
that's everything he does.
Or, like, even how the actor's like, I don't understand what I'm in.
It's like,
but
I
like,
went in, I was blindfolded, recorded a line, then left. I don't know what's going on.
every actor working on Death Stranding has just been like, he just tells us what to do, and we question it. And it sounds like a weird hostage
Yeah.
situation.
But the thing is, they're also like, I don't understand, but I will do anything for him.
Right.
Okay?
Pretty much.
No, I mean, like, they owe him money or something, right?
Do they?
I think they owe him.
Or their
money.
lives, maybe?
So,
I don't
Like,
know.
they owe him children, and that's why they're doing this,
Oh,
right?
yeah, maybe. I mean,
I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure
Sure.
there's gonna be a pachinko machine inside Death Stranding that you can blow up.
Really?
Oh, dude, that would be
It's gonna blow up.
amazing.
It's gonna blow up in a middle finger, and it's just gonna be
Oh,
the best
boy.
thing ever.
Oh, I would actually buy the game like 5 times if that were the case.
Oh,
Just for that.
Realistically,
Yeah,
though, I do think it can be a good game. Like, I mean,
Oh,
Kojima
I
has
think
made
it'll be
very good
fine.
games.
I think
Okay.
it'll be a fine game. I think
And from what I've heard of the story, it sounds really interesting.
It does, but
I think if you get the people who played only Metal Gear Solid 5, because there was a lot of those people, actually,
Yeah.
I think for them to go into Death Stranding without knowing, like, how
Previous work.
weird
Yeah.
it actually is.
I think to play anything Kojima puts his name on in the future, it's going to be like a requirement to at least play like Snake Eater, maybe.
well, I
At
mean,
the
every
very
human
least.
should play Snakey.
Yeah, or even like just play 2 when he's like, "Hey, you got to turn off the game." Even that's like a good enough. Like, oh, Kojima's kind of weird.
I mean, you can do that with any of
Yeah.
besides. Well, yeah, any of.
I mean, 5
It's
had
like-
some weird moments, but 5 wasn't, like, out
Yeah,
there.
it really wasn't.
So the first 4. If you play any of the first 4, they actually I don't think 4 really had any crazy moments in it like
well,
the first
4 had
3.
a lot of really weird, like, high
Items.
concept shit you had to do.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Like,
could always
the
tell,
entire
like, just play
game was
one
just
where like
fucking
you
Let's
have to
put an iPod in this
put the
game.
controller in the
Yeah.
other port or whatever.
Psycho Mantis, good times, good times.
It's like, hey, you want to beat this boss? Wait a week, he'll die.
oh,
Oh
man.
my god,
Come
yeah,
back.
the end where it was like just save, end the game, and change the date forward on your console. And
Yeah.
then-
I was like,
It's like,
he'll,
oh,
he'll
he's
die.
dying.
He's old. The concept is real in this game.
All of the ways, I think all of the ends deaths were, I think, the most creative out of
yeah,
anything
you could
in
like
the
see
series.
him really early and just blow him up.
Yeah, you just snipe him basically. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? That's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
guess that's that. Thanks, game. Man,
I'd have to say,
how screwed are we if Konami actually releases a 1 to 4 like Fox Engine remaster?
it depends on how much they fiddle with the actual game.
I like the engine, but I mean they can't just like take the game and throw it in the engine and say here it is. They're gonna have
Yeah,
to like,
that's true.
start over.
Especially
yeah,
with the
but, like,
older ones.
Trust
Yeah.
that to happen without Kojima.
One
there.
without a doubt would have to be overhauled entirely.
I mean, they could just take the Twin Snakes and, like,
You'd probably still have to overhaul that for
it's true.
modern gameplay conventions.
1 and 2 would probably actually. Well, 3 they did an HD remaster kind of.
Yes, well,
It is.
2 and 3 got HD.
Imagine Dance Dance Revolution in the Fox engine.
I don't want you in my life anymore, Nestor. I just don't. But
It's such a
But
sad
yeah.
loss. Like the
Pachinko
Fox engine,
machines running
that
on the
like
Fox
it had
engine?
so much potential, and now it's not gonna get
All
used.
that money
At least not well.
to be spent on soccer games.
Yeah.
Terrible soccer
What's
games.
he using for now?
He's using the
the
Decima,
Horizon one.
the Horizon
right?
engine,
nice.
which I mean, the Decima engine is also very good. So
Nice.
I mean,
So,
it's pretty.
what was-
So
What was the story with that? They literally were just like, here's our engine. Take it, use it.
oh, no, he
make it
pretty
your
much
own.
like he went on a tour of like all of Sony's like proprietary studios, and Gorilla was like, "Here's our engine." He's like that.
It's
and
like,
they were
"Here,
like-
take it, please, use it.
Nice.
Like, here's a full copy of our engine. Is yours.
Yeah, they were like, here's the engine. He's like, it's very nice.
Enjoy. All right.
I like.
Oh man.
Why is he Borat? I don't know.
I don't know either, but I can dig it. I can dig
We
it.
did have a joke section on the list, the best thing Kojima did, but I think we just talked about Kojima for about
Yeah,
20
so
minutes.
we did that. I do
Okay.
want to mention though. I do want to mention my favorite moment though. I'm really happy about this. So I played the Danganronpa series for the first time this year, and that was really fun. And so part 3, or V3 I should say, takes everything you know about the franchise and then throws it back in your face with the middle finger and says, just kidding, in the ending, and basically spits in your face. And it was like the most mind-blowing moment in the franchise, and I loved it so much because it literally turns everything you know about the series upside down. And it was great. And that was definitely my favorite gaming moment because it was like, it totally caught me off guard, and I was like, this is like, you just totally screwed my mind, and I like it. And it was good. And everybody who has played the first 2 needs to play this, otherwise you need to stop playing video games. It was really good. The ending was obnoxious. It was really
I have
obnoxious.
a friend who's playing it right now, and she keeps constantly messaging me about it. And I'm like, stop, just play.
Seriously, I hate that series. It's such a coaster. Like, I just cry the whole entire time. I hate it all. But I will
So,
cherish it for the rest of my life.
we should probably get into top games soon. We've been going a long time, but also,
Oh, yeah.
Nah.
really quick
Nah.
though, were there anything like any games you weren't expecting to like that like surprised you?
Resident
No.
Evil 7.
The Last of Us?
I didn't play the Resident Evil 7, but watching it, I was like, wow, this, like, after knowing about 4 and 5 and 6,
Yeah, I honestly did not think I was
7
gonna like it.
was
but
at least great to watch. It looked like it was great to play too.
Yeah.
it was very fun to play. It was very, very fun to play, and I'm glad I actually gave it a shot. And actually, it's, you know, I mean, getting into that list, but it's actually on my top 5 of the year.
Nice.
PUBG surprised me extremely. I mean, I was like, oh, it's another one of these, but it's pretty popular. It might be fun for like a week. That is an amazing game, somehow.
Yeah, yeah. For this year's release, mine is actually ball. It's actually Monster Hunter Stories. So, like, I mean, I don't like the franchise just because I don't like the way the games play. Like, I get that they're fun and they're great for what they are. Not for me. They're not for me. And, like, Monster Hunter Stories came out from nowhere, and I was like, oh, I'll try it. I was like, this is a really fun RPG. That's nothing like the other games, and I love this very much. So that was a nice
Cool.
surprise for me.
I think as far as games I normally wouldn't play, Horizon actually ended up being a game I liked so much I bought DLC for it.
Nice.
As far as something I went into and got my expectations totally thrown out of whack, and Nier Automata is probably...
I did
Just- I
not
was like,
have
oh.
expectations for Nier Automata. And then, like, when I played the demo right before the game came out, I was like, this could be something. Might have to play this game. And then all of a sudden, it was, like, amazing.
It was the best thing
It was
ever.
your life for a
Well,
month.
everything about Nier Automata, like, on the box, you're like, weird sequel to one of the endings of a game that, like, 3 people played. With robots and androids.
Man, I really
Yeah,
hope that at some point we get, like, a good, solid PC port of the first Nier, because I want to play that trash. As bad as it
started
looks.
reprinting it in Europe, but only for the PS3. It's like, just do a modern day port of it, Square.
Yeah.
Stop porting like Final Fantasy 1 and 2 to everything.
Yeah, Japanese
Oh,
ports
God.
to PC
Hey, you got a
are
toaster?
always
You
bad.
can run Final
So I,
Fantasy.
like, even if they do like a good port of it to like modern consoles, probably won't be like on PC, so I can play it. Or if it is, it'll be bad.
Well, Square actually has good things on PC, so.
I mean, even Nier Automata's PC port was garbage, and I mean
Yeah,
that was the
I
way
I
I
want to
played
blame
the
that
game.
more on Platinum.
And the thing is, like, that game, even as bad as that PC port was, and that being the only version of the game I played, still managed to be one of the best things I've ever played. So, okay.
Way to go.
Also, Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm
keep
surprised I
meaning-
was able to go all the way through it, and also that I liked it.
Well, it was also $0, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, lots of visual novels
That
are
helped.
free, and I don't do those. They're not good. But
Most of them are
Doki
not
Doki,
good.
what's it called? Literature Club was actually like nice. I liked it. It was like a good length, and it had a good story-ish. I mean, it was kind of a mess also, but it was weird. And then also like, hey, we're deleting files out of the game system folder. You can go in there and mess with them. Like, oh, interesting. Because I know that's like a thing sometimes happens, but it's not like prevalent enough in games. I'm like, I want to see that more.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What else? I can't think of anything else that like really surprised me. I mean, I'm surprised I like Elite so much, but that didn't come out this year.
The Switch, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm surprised
I mean-
that the Switch is doing well. I'm happy.
I didn't buy one, but I'm also surprised at how great it seems to have turned out.
Like, I'm glad Nintendo was able to turn around how lackluster the Wii U was.
Yeah. I think the bigger thing is, I'm surprised that despite everything that they've been doing wrong with the system, and all of us who own it complain about, the fact that we still love it, that's what I'm surprised about. Personally, like, I don't regret my purchase, but I can, like, that system is a system I can complain about the most of any system I've ever owned.
Even over your PS4?
I'm just mean to the PS4 because I hate Sony. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. People who has that relationship with Sony. And
Yeah, the PS4
it's
is not
funny
bad.
to watch.
It's alright. But yeah,
I'm
that would be
surprised
it for
also
me.
that Ubisoft has managed to go 2 years in a row without sucking.
That's true. That's true. Did they change management last year or something? That would
I
happen?
have no idea, but something happened.
Huh.
I don't know, Rainbow Six came out, and then Watch Dogs came out, and then all of a sudden they're just like, wow, they're a good company again?
Yeah.
What?
They didn't do Assassin's Creed last year? They actually put time into the...
I mean, I know Rainbow Six came out like 2 years ago, but still, it was...
Yeah, but
it seemed like
real
more
support
of a
didn't really
last
start.
year game.
Yeah, exactly.
And Watch Dogs 2 was amazing.
Especially considering how lackluster their first one
Yeah.
critics
The
go.
first
and
one was
people,
not good.
Yeah, so that's... It's nice when people actually improve on their game instead of making the sequel worse, which
Yeah.
is usually how it is.
Vanilla Destiny 2 was also a very pleasant surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
To a certain point.
Rip.
Yeah. So, moving on.
Yeah, any other surprises
That's all I've
or
got.
top five games? Should we like go one at a time, just like 5 and then 4 or whatever, or just say our lists or what? How
Do you want to do the?
Um,
Do you want to do the other categories first before we do the 5 games? Because we had like what game soundtracks and art.
Oh, I
think that was all
forgot
we
about
had.
those. I didn't even like write those down. I mean, I have answers for them, but I completely forgot. Yeah.
This soundtrack,
let's do
Persona
the-
5.
Let's do those real quick.
Yeah, let's. So our
Soundtrack?
art
Okay,
style, or
soundtracks.
soundtrack. Yeah, soundtrack.
Persona 5. That's it. That's your only choice.
Me? But, oh, was that
And
the
Nier Automata.
Nier Automata, number 1 for me.
Soundtrack.
Nier
Nier, and
Automata,
then
absolutely.
Cuphead's soundtrack.
Soundtrack of the year,
amazing.
and then also Pyre.
Pyre was
Persona
pretty
5,
nice.
even though I didn't really play much of it, the soundtrack is great. And Ruiner.
And those who follow me on my Snapchat.
Oh, Ruiner. I
mean,
forgot about Ruiner.
I
Ruiner's
I went
soundtrack
on a
is
whole
very
posting
good.
spree with nothing but Persona 5 songs while I was driving. That's all I was.
Nice.
Man, the casino
Nice.
song is so good.
My friend actually listens to the Persona soundtrack whenever he's doing homework because he's like, man, it hypes me up
Yeah,
so hard.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
we're-
Divinity Original Sin 2 soundtrack actually is the kind of thing where, like, at first you're like, okay, it's just, like, nice, like, whatever, they have some music in the background of this game. And then you don't realize that you're like, hey, what was that song from that's, like, in my head? Oh, that was Divinity. And then it's like, suddenly, oh, actually, the entire soundtrack is really surprisingly good.
Like,
Nice.
honestly, I cannot remember a single track from Horizon unless you start playing it, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
I
guess,
mean, that's the same thing for me with Divinity, and actually with Pyre even, and with Ruiner. I mean, even Destiny 2 had a really great soundtrack.
Yeah.
but I mean,
yeah.
a good soundtrack for a game shouldn't be something that distracts you. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It has to.
It enhances
part of the experience.
the experience, which
Yeah.
as much flack as we give Destiny 2, I mean their soundtrack is amazing, and
Yeah,
they did.
I mean they
great.
did really well in that just early section of just like, hey, we're gonna like make this game extremely cinematic in a way that you weren't expecting, and it's like usually that's not something you want out of your action games, but somehow they pulled it off pretty well. It's like, oh hey, looks like a good first impression of this game.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think Nier Automata and Pyre did the best of like the music never really like took you out of it, but it was all amazing and set the mood perfect. Like those two games, Supergiant.
Those are your two easiest.
Always,
Nice.
always
No,
their
like-
soundtracks.
Yeah, I mean they
Five.
specialize in doing good soundtracks. Like that's the thing.
Yeah,
So
Supergiant
they're
soundtracks
gorgeous.
are the best ever.
Sonic Mania is easily mine. Like that soundtrack was amazing. It was
I
such a
haven't
beautiful
heard it,
blend
but
of
I mean-
old and new.
Sonic has always been very good in the soundtrack department.
Yeah,
Persona 5
they-
is also very good.
They did such a good job. Like that team. Anyways, the music was good. It was a good blend because it was nice because the game starts off like each level zone starts off with like old school reimagined, and then it transitions into a completely new take on that concept
Nice.
in each zone. So like, and the music evolves in that way too. Like it's great. Like I love that about the music. So it was a really good blend of old and new. But I'd also like to throw out there because a lot of people probably wouldn't realize it. Mario and Rabbids has a really catchy and fun soundtrack.
I'm sure
I love
it does. I mean, Mario's always had great soundtracks.
But it's Ubisoft.
Well, still, it's Mario.
So-
Still. It's still a Mario game, even if
It is.
like it was a Ubisoft game. It's still Mario.
It
And
is.
I'm gonna throw this one out there just because I mean the definitive editions came out this year as the Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, the soundtracks. Just
I mean, Pokemon always has good soundtracks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
just the music in general of that one. Just
yeah.
I'm listening. It's stuck in my head right now. So.
It is. I'm waiting for iTunes to release it so I can buy it. I have every other Pokemon soundtrack.
Yeah, we do.
I need this.
Because of you, I bought them.
Yes.
See, the thing I feel about the Nier one is, like, if you had just the music, pretty great. But then it also has every song in chiptune.
Yeah,
Nice.
also pretty great.
Also
Nice.
pretty great.
And also even greater that like whatever you're doing in the game, it will just like switch the soundtrack over into the chiptune version when you do the hacking. Like,
Seamless.
really, yes.
Seamless.
Oh, it's
It's
dynamic.
perfect.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Like, the sound stuff in Nier Automata is probably had more care taken to it than, like, the textures did.
yeah. Not even like not even just the music, but the entire like sound design of the game was amazing.
That's-
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I
pretty
didn't
neat.
play Nier. Well, I mean, I owned it now. I just haven't played yet.
Absolutely.
I'm guessing even the ambient noises and stuff like that. It just
The ambient noises are good, but man, that soundtrack is in, like, languages.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
I
it's
know
one
there's
of the
English,
best video game
Russian,
soundtracks that there are.
And
Nice.
the Persona 5 one is interesting because, like, I know I put 100 hours into Persona 5. I cannot tell you anything about that game.
Okay.
I don't remember any of the music.
it's funny. I don't
I have
either.
some of that music in my car. I can't tell you anything about, like, I'll get more into that later. But, like, the Persona 5 soundtrack is just such a nice, fun, really jazzy soundtrack,
Mhm.
which kind of really fits in with the whole, like, oh, where's the...
Yeah, I really love the aesthetic. I mean, I've always loved the aesthetic of Persona, but
Well,
like,
speaking
that
of
mixed with the
aesthetics,
great music. Oh yeah, we should. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
actually
art
only
style,
put
I
one
mean-
game down for this because for me it was I mean, Pyre. Nothing beat the aesthetic of Pyre.
I can understand that.
I put
Pirate's
down Persona 5 because,
beautiful.
man, that is so painfully stylish.
I did.
Persona
love
5. Which
one? What
the
did you
style
say?
of Persona
Persona
5.
5.
Oh,
Persona 5
okay.
for best art style.
Yeah,
I
nice.
did love
I
it,
can understand
but
that too.
I also was kind of like, this reminds me a lot of the other Persona games. Pyre doesn't remind me of anything. It's Pyre.
I mean,
No,
it's just
it's a
because.
contact game.
I mean, it's just
Yeah,
because. I mean, it.
It's not really fair to compete with Supergiant in terms of either art or music. But yeah, I mean, Pyre was beautiful. I
mean,
still
and-
need to finish that game. It's
Do it,
so
do it,
good
do it.
too.
Do it right
It's
now,
the
play it right
weird
now.
thing. No,
Yeah,
it'll make,
do it. Just do it now.
No, it'll make noise.
Just start streaming it while we'll just
Yeah.
stop talking.
No, it's
Okay.
one of the most
Oh, good. I love them.
one of the most satisfying visual games this year. Again, Cuphead.
Oh, come
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, fair enough.
Having not played Cuphead, I didn't really consider it much, but yes, very,
Yeah.
very good aesthetic.
Same. Like, there's a lot of games I think they're
Yeah.
really pretty, but because I didn't
Cuphead.
play them, I'm not putting it on my
Cuphead.
consideration.
Cuphead.
Yeah, Cuphead is gorgeous. But
Cuphead.
mine is Sonic Mania again. Like, that game is so gorgeous, and it's such a nice blend because they like reanimated everything.
Yeah. Everything was hand drawn in that game.
So
There's a
beautiful.
mobile game.
Don't do that. Don't you mobile game me. I don't want you in my life anymore.
South
It's
Park
the one
Hornet
where
Story,
you.
because it's literally just South Park.
It's kind of like a solitaire sort of style thing, but you're like making potions for people. I think Miracle Merchant something. That game's art style is also really, really good. I actually forgot that even came out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Miracle
something else that was
Merchant.
like visually pleasing, just
It's
because
a
it's
very nice
it's-
game.
it's very fan servicey as Senran Kagura, Peach v Splash.
Actually, I'm noticing a lot of times mobile games are starting to look better over time.
Oh yeah, like Grand Blue Fantasy and Fate Grand Order are actually very. Grand Blue more so than I would say, but it's a soft spot.
Just because technology is starting to catch up
Yes.
in mobile
Yeah.
devices. So I mean,
That's true.
the technology's there, so why not, right?
I mean, a lot of the
Even-
ones that are
even-
pretty.
Even Pocket Camp was a pretty visually appealing
Yeah.
game.
Actually,
Yeah, it looks like a normal Animal Crossing game, and that's actually
yeah, I was
not.
surprised
that's
at
it-
how
that's
nice
good.
it looked and how smooth it felt on the
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
All right, let's knock out our top 5, and then we'll do.
Let's
what
do
we're
it.
to-
So are we breaking backwards and then like one by
Well, yeah,
one?
we should
Have it
work backwards,
right.
but do we
Oh
Do we
snap!
do,
I
like-
don't have an order.
do
Hang
we
on.
do like we all say 5 and then we all say 4? We do
Oh, I think
Yeah,
we
let's do
just-
that.
Or we could just each go we could each say our top 5 and like throw in a couple sentences.
Which way is better? I don't know.
I vote
I
Justin's way.
I didn't really rank mine.
Oh, good.
I didn't either. I'm doing it right now, actually.
I mean, I didn't write anything. I just have a list. That's it.
Yeah, I have a list too. It's just
Yeah.
I didn't rank them, so I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, for me, my 5 is higher. It might have been higher, but I didn't finish it, so I can't like realistically put it any higher than that. But also, it originally was gonna be Destiny 2, but I had to just like after the expansion, I looked back on it and I'm like,
Yeah.
Pyre deserves something.
What's funny, Justin, is number 5 was going to be Destiny 2 for me, but because of
Until-
everything that's been going on, and then
And
because
it's
I
not
played
even
this
like it ruined the vanilla game or anything for me, having already played it and loved the story. It's just like, you know what? I just would rather talk about Pyre now, even though I
Yeah.
haven't played it in so long.
Yeah.
Pyre
No.
is very, very good, and I love Supergiant. I'll finish it eventually.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
my number 5, if I can go next, is
Go.
it was going to be Destiny 2, but I recently played this game and I like just how much they changed the way that the game plays. Tekken 7,
Oh,
surprising.
nice.
I'm not a
forgot that came
Tekken
out.
fan by far, but it was fun the way that they changed the mechanics of it, making it super fast, and literally matches can end in like 30 seconds, 15
Oh, wow.
seconds. If you're not
Yeah.
careful, if you're that good, you can crank out really, really
I
fast.
think 7 was what they were playing at Evo.
Hmm.
It was
I haven't
good.
played Tekken since
Yeah.
I think like 4.
And it's very visually appealing as well.
Tekken. is-
Tekken has always been pretty. Let's be real.
Do you want to go to Evo or should I? Did he freeze?
Yes, keep
I think
going.
he froze.
Did I? I said you could go first. Go
Oh,
for
okay.
it.
My 5 is actually Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Ooh, nice.
Played a weird amount of that this year by accident.
Mm-hmm.
But like I like Tetris, like Puyo Puyo.
Was
Very
Good
visually appealing.
it really good? I considered buying it, but I was like, I don't know. Like, it was that good, huh?
If you really like puzzle games like that, it's really good. It can support up to like 4 players, which is pretty fun if you have people to play with.
Yeah.
Run's very smooth. Visuals are really nice. Like it's just.
I
it's
do
a-
love puzzle games.
Hey.
Puzzle
Nice.
games are very
I'm-
good.
I like Puyo Puyo a lot. Tetris I've been different about. But that's why I
Tetris
was
is
like,
great. I've been
I
playing
mean, I
Tetris
gotta
for
drink
years,
it out of Tetris
like
nut.
nonstop.
nice. Nice. That's
Yep.
cool though. I'm glad. I'm glad both of you a little bit more non-traditional choices. That makes me happy. Actually.
All my choices are not. No, not.
Yeah, good.
No, as soon as I get into like the top 3, I think they're pretty predictable.
It's pretty predictable. Yeah.
Yeah.
My 5 would actually have to be. Janet, are you done? Before
Yeah.
I go. Okay. My number 5 would have to be Metroid. Actually, I've been waiting for a very long time for them to do a remake of Part 2, and they know how to do remakes, and it was
Nice.
really freaking good. I loved it. And the only reason it's my number 5 is the same reason why Justin's number 5 is I haven't finished it. So
So
I
it's
can't-
a
I
remake,
can't, but
not
I-
a remaster, too?
it's a complete ground up remake with
Nice.
extra content, like Zero
Remakes are
Mission. Did you
so
play
much-
Zero Mission?
Nope. I haven't actually
Okay.
played, like, a Metroid game since, like, the one on DS. The first DS.
It's pretty much a brand new game, just
Mhm.
with the same concepts of the of the original.
I think my favorite thing about that Metroid game. Did you get the special edition?
Are you kidding me? I got the console and the game edition. Obviously.
Oh, yeah, I remember how you can flip the cover art.
Yeah, I love it. And the
It's like-
flip side. Oh, dude, do I have it here? No, I don't actually.
Flipping that
Yeah,
cover
it's-
art, and it's like it's a Game Boy cover art, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, the literal original cover. No, I should actually have it.
Oh my god, what did I start? What did
You
I
can
start?
move on. You can move on while I look.
Hey, Justin, you're 4th.
Prey. Prey.
Pray. That was this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
Oh.
I
Yeah, it
almost forgot it
Oh,
was this year because it was
it
so
came out this year.
early in the year. Yeah.
Oh, dude, here.
Prey was,
It was like
so
February?
good. I didn't like the first game. I just really didn't enjoy the first game. And then when I heard they were making another one, I was like, well, I mean, it's kind of a cool, like, concept. Maybe I'll still look into it, even though I didn't like the first one, whatever. Then it turns out,
Right.
literally the only thing they did is take the name and then make a completely new game, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was completely unrelated in every way, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it was a, what's their name? You know, them. It was
Spiritual
them.
successor?
No, it was a them.
Oh, the company.
What is? Who? Like
Wasn't
one of my
developers.
favorite modern developers too. Honestly, I don't know what they're called. Dishonored team. But yeah, I mean, it was a them game. I was like, I have to play a game from the Dishonored team, and it was amazing. And Prey actually made it onto my list, and the new Dishonored game didn't, just because it wasn't a full. Actually, did that even come out this year?
Arcane.
Yeah, Arcane. For some reason, I kept thinking Respawn. I'm like, that's not.
No.
not Respawn.
Yeah. Did what come out this year?
Death of the Outsider? I feel
Yes,
like
that
it
was
did.
this
Yeah,
year.
but that
That
just
was this
like
year.
was not like it was very good, but it just wasn't long enough to like Prey. Prey was great.
Nice.
I loved it. I loved the way like their take on open world, where it was like it's open world, but like there's still a direction. You're not getting like completely sidetracked. So
Yeah.
it's actually an open world game you can finish, and the open world isn't that big.
That's good.
The
That's
soundtrack
good.
was
That sounds
also
good.
great. The story was great. The visuals were, I mean, arcane.
Yeah.
Not like super original art styles, but just great visuals anyway. And I mean, also it managed to be a really like exciting action game and also a horror game at the same time. And actually, like the horror parts were scary and the action parts were fun, and it didn't ever feel like they crossed genres in a weird way. It was just great.
Hmm.
That's awesome. I need that game so
Play it.
bad. I don't know why I don't have it, actually.
It's also pretty short, but
It's okay. It's pretty cheap now too. I saw it on Steam right now for $20.
oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is a winter sale. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, play Prey. It's pretty good.
good. Nestor.
My number 4. I love me some old school cartoons. Again,
Oh,
we're gonna talk
nice.
about Cuphead.
Nice. Nice.
Talk about Cuphead again.
Nice.
Visually pleasing, very fun to play, surprisingly extremely difficult with 2 players, and just overall, just that game in general. Like it, I played it at a friend's house first, and ever since then I was just like, I gotta buy it myself, and I bought it. I bought it for PC, and then I haven't played it as much as I want to on my PC, but I want to go back to it, and it's just there, and then from what I play it, I love it every step of the way.
Nice.
Short, simple. But
Short and simple's good though.
Mhm.
Not everything has to be complicated.
Yeah.
Yes. Good,
Cuphead
good.
sounded like it was very good. I'll check it
Right.
out eventually.
It did. Yeah, I'll get it also.
Check it out.
good.
Just
It's the
check
kind
it
of
out.
game
Yeah.
I'd probably play for like $5. I think.
Yeah, I just think
Yeah.
the reason why I like it so much is the effort that it took to get that game out.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
like platformers that much, but that
I don't need-
style
oh,
is too
I do.
much
I
to
love
pass up.
platformers.
Like,
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
eventually play it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that was my number 4.
Yeah. Jen?
Janet?
My number 4 was Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Like,
I just got it, by the way. I just got it. I'm gonna start
I
it.
don't know how to explain how good of a remaster it is to one of the honestly most underrated of the Final Fantasies. Like, everyone knows 12 came out.
Yeah.
And
12 has always been the one that I've been like, that looks really good, and I have not played. And eventually
Well-
I want to get this remaster, but I just have not gotten
like,
around
I
to it.
really, really, really wish they could have figured out a way to make 12 like a fully... I don't want to say necessarily open world, but it was a game that was in like that awkward... We don't know how to go from like large map areas without loading screens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they figured out a way to cut out the loading screens in that game, it would probably be one of the best RPGs in years. Like, the visuals were great, the remastered soundtrack didn't suck like it did for 10. The changes they made to the license board, so wonderful and so useful, and actually, like, forced you to pick classes for your characters. And then
Yeah.
you could play the game at like 4 times speed, which was a mistake.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because you
Not
were
to
like,
mention-
I'll just walk over here, and then you're up and back. What did I do?
Oh,
It's the
boy.
door. Oh no.
That's awesome.
But no, Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, if you played 12, the Zodiac Age makes 12 worth playing. And you should play 12, and then you should put like 150 hours into it, because there is... You can start doing side quests almost immediately.
Oh no.
Like, they're
Yeah.
just like, hey, a big part of your game is this hunt club.
Yeah, I remember that. I spent so much time when I don't
I'm
remember.
just
I
like,
didn't get that
"Oh,
far.
this game is so good." So,
And I mean, it's pretty much a new game. I mean, for people who have played it, it's changed enough, right? Because we never got the international edition, so
Yeah. Yeah, the changes they made for the international are what got put into the Zodiac Age, and I mean, it's been over a decade since I played the original 12 anyway, so.
I wonder what'll happen first.
Good
Will I
choice.
play 12, or will 7 Remake come out?
probably you play 12.
You
Because
probably
7 will never come out.
7 coming out is on the way.
Yeah, exactly.
7 will come out. Episode 1 will come out.
No. Yeah, right. And then they'll never do the rest of it. It'll be like Sonic 4. They like did like 2 episodes and they never finished that game.
Oh no. Don't say
I
that.
hate you.
I actually want the 7 Remake, but I don't think it's gonna come out.
All of us do. That's the worst
I
part.
don't.
Oh, really? Like, I hate 7 with a passion, and I want that remake because it
I
sounds
don't
like
want
everything
a
I
7
wanted.
remake, I want Kingdom Hearts 3 to finally come out.
Yep.
Oh my god. I think that. Oh yeah.
I
Say
just like
that.
I don't even remember the gameplay of 7 like whatsoever, except that it's really ugly. But I just
is
know
very
that like with
I will
all
buy
the
you 7
side
right
stuff,
now on Steam,
and especially with like
No, don't, please.
especially with like Advent Children and stuff, I like really like the world of 7 and the characters. And to like, I'd love to see 7 in like modern, not like Hourglass arm.
I honestly
Yeah.
think when 7 Remake comes out and people play it, they're like, why did I like... A bunch of them are going to be like, why did I like 7 again?
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be the case because I think they're going to be changing it so drastically that it's going to be.
Oh
a
no, I mean, but
different
the
game,
core of the
basically.
story's still going to be there, and you're still going
Yeah, I
to
suppose. I suppose. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate 7, so I mean, you're
I
I
pretty
don't even
quiet
remember
here,
the
bro.
story
Go
of
on.
7. I remember the story of Advent Children more.
Because there is no story, pretty much.
Okay. Advent Children was very good.
Yeah, everything. It's funny because I think everything that surrounded 7 was fun and pretty well made. But then 7 was just like, what is this trash? Like, anyways,
Man, I even like Dirge of Cerberus.
yeah, it was
I
fun.
didn't like the Surface.
Fair enough. It was
You're
fine.
lost.
It was better than 7.
The idea, I like Vincent as a
So
character.
I,
just
I
didn't
think
like.
I think the thing with 7 is people like the idea of 7.
Yeah,
And I think everyone played it when they were like 9, so they're like, "Oh yeah, I love Final Fantasy 7."
yeah, and I mean, like, the aesthetic of it is very good. The characters are very good. The story and everything surrounding the universe of it is very good. And that
Yeah.
stuff is a lot more memorable than actually playing it.
And it's not just that, it's, a lot of people jump into that game as their, like, starting point for
Yeah.
serious gaming.
Mhm.
And that's a big thing. Like, for me, my jump was Final Fantasy. And, like, I played more recently, I'm like, this game is absolutely horrendous. But that game is, like, one of the most special things in my gaming experience. Like, I
mean,
love it so hard.
I
Like,
honestly think that one of the few games that has held up really good over time was Chrono Trigger. So
yeah, well,
I think 7 was
that's different. That's good.
one of my earliest RPGs, probably, maybe.
Yeah.
Nice.
But we're getting off on a tangent there. So
anyway,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, definitely.
What's your number 4?
Number 4, mine is a little unfair because it did and it didn't come out this year. So, but I mean, it's kind of like Final Fantasy 12, so that's
Oh.
fair. It's Dreamfall Chapters, actually.
Oh,
The only reason it's not my number 1 is because of the fact that it actually came out on PC like last year.
wow.
So, and that was my game of the year last year, so it's not fair to do it twice. But it released on consoles this year, and they completely redid a lot. They redid the engine, and they they changed a lot of the cut of the story and like streamlined everything and made
Nice.
it a lot better in like this new cut that they call it that is on the PC version as an update now. And I love it. It's just like it's not a perfect game. It's clear it's an indie game. It has glitches. It has some frame rate issues, but such masterful storytelling, and I love it. And it's
Nice.
such a beautiful conclusion to a series that we should have gotten a sequel to like 8 years ago, and we finally got now. So that's my number 4.
Cool.
Number 3, Justin?
3. PUBG.
Nice.
It, like, when it came out in early access, I was like, why? Well, I wasn't like, why is this so popular? I was like, oh, another one? Another early access, ugly looking game everyone's gonna stream for a while and then stop. And then I was like, it kind of looks fun, actually. Maybe I'll play it. And I love it. And I mean, I was like, from like the first like month, I was like, this is going on my list of games of the year if it comes out. And I actually didn't think it would. Because they were like, oh, we're going to release by the end of the year. And like, they all say that. And they did.
They squeaked it in.
And not only did
Huh?
they manage to release it by the end of the year, but they improved the engine, they improved the visuals, they added gameplay mechanics, they added the map, they fixed network issues.
Yeah.
It went from early access to being a game. Instead
Yeah.
of like just taking off the early access tag, like they made it a full complete game, and it's great. And also, post-release, I got my first chicken dinner. Oh boy, that was a really great moment too, because that's such a I've gotten so close, and finally won one game. But yeah, PUBG is so good somehow, despite
Nice.
it still has so many bugs. Network issues are still not great. Visually they improved it, but it's still bad. It's such an ugly game. It is like an asset flip. They're just like, hey, looks like someone's selling a floor. Let's just put that in our game. That's our floor. But
Nice.
yeah, it's such a fun game. I just always keep going back to it, and it's amazing somehow. Even though it looks like garbage, and it seems like such a bad concept,
Yeah,
and it's like,
looking
oh,
like garbage
another
doesn't
one.
be a bad game.
Yeah, exactly. It can still be fun and look like trash.
Like bad
Yeah.
visuals are just bad visuals.
Yeah,
It's not.
it's just the bad visuals look less like just bad visuals and more like early
Generic.
access survival game bad visuals, where it's like, oh, it's one of those. But
Good
somehow it's
times.
good, and it's the only one that has survived for longer than a month too. So
Yeah.
cool.
Nice. Good.
All right. So my number 3, just strictly for the nostalgia factor, is because this is something that I played with family back in the day. Crash Bandicoot,
Oh,
the Insane Trilogy.
nice.
Just is the Dark Souls of retro.
Oh no.
You know,
Oh,
That
2018
was the
year where we stopped comparing things to Dark Souls.
yeah, that was the best comparison ever, and I laughed so much. But yeah,
nice.
for the simple fact that I got it, for the
This is
fact
the Dark Souls
my
of getting through
sister,
an entire podcast
yeah,
without calling something the Dark Souls of something.
We tried, so
yeah.
we got so.
Too late.
Yep, I ruined it. Yep, but no, just because
Now we gotta start
my sister,
Hi everyone, welcome to.
yeah, my sister loves Crash Bandicoot. I love Crash Bandicoot. It's something that we can play together, and we enjoy playing together. And then she thoroughly kicks my ass at certain levels, and then I get
Nice.
mad, but then we keep playing, and then
And you did it again with her this
we
year?
did- yep, we did it
That's
again.
nice.
And yeah, simply just because of the fact of Crash Bandicoot 2 was one of the games that we used to play a lot. And then when it came out for the remaster, so I was like, I have to replay those levels again in HD, and hate myself for playing them
I bet
again.
you're glad that's an option, so you don't have to like think, oh, for nostalgia, what ukulele?
No,
Oh boy.
no, that's
Oh,
that's
boy.
one of my biggest disappointments this year as well. But yeah,
I forgot to. It was so bad, I forgot to even consider it
Yeah,
a
no,
disappointment.
no, let's just
Nice.
forget about ukulele and then focus on Crash Bandicoot because Crash Bandicoot, now we have the possibility of getting Spyro remastered.
Oh, see that I would
I'd
kill
love
And
for.
that.
that
I
is
was
something that I would love.
I was
I'm
excited at the idea of getting Crash Team Racing remastered.
Yeah.
nice.
It's this
Like-
opened up possibilities, and I'm really, really excited to see what we get remastered in the future.
I want to see some
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank trilogy on PC, some Jack and Daxter trilogy on PC. I say trilogy because they only made 3 each of both those series.
So stuff that'll never happen is what you're
Yeah.
Yeah, I
saying.
was gonna say like actual pipe dreams.
No,
Yeah.
no, but yeah, like
Like
Crash
over,
Bandicoot.
over Sean Layden's cold dead body.
Crash Bandicoot, fantastic. Want Spyro now.
Same.
Nice.
Same.
Alright. My number 3 is actually Horizon Zero Dawn.
Nice.
I mean, I got that game because I thought it looked kind of interesting. I was not
Mhm.
expecting to like it as much as I did, considering it's not really a game that on the surface is the kind of game I'm necessarily into. Like, I don't play a lot of Western-style RPGs.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't really like a lot of big open world games.
Right.
I really wish I had gone to play it. PC.
Yeah, it's...
Mhm.
The story is kind of but visually it's gorgeous. Gameplay feels pretty good. There's lots of interesting things to do. You can ride on some robots.
That's always a good feature.
Nice. That is always a good feature.
I have arrows that explode when they hit people.
Nice.
That's
Overwatch
pretty.
has those.
But I mean, I don't have to play with other people in this game. That's very important. Like every time they kept talking about like the death of the single player game at the Game Awards, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Horizon, guys.
Stop cramming multiplayer into games.
Literally, like,
Right.
like I mean, it does seem like, oh, everything's multiplayer, but I'm like, actually, 4 of
If
the
you
5
play-
games on my list are single player.
Single player only.
Yeah. None of mine are multiplayer. Or I guess one of them.
I guess
Two of
actually
them
2 of mine have multiplayer, but only one of them is based around multiplayer.
Yeah, only one of
Yeah.
them is imp. Like
Yeah.
every time they were like, "Oh, the single player game," I'm like, "No,
Single
there's
player is
plenty,
still
plenty
going.
of indie
Yeah,
games,
exactly.
plenty of Japanese games, plenty of
Right.
Western
Yeah,
games."
just stop looking at like
Okay.
EA and Activision as the only developers.
Right. Right.
No. People need to broaden their horizons, and then they'll
Right.
open their eyes and see a whole plethora of stuff that
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
enjoy.
It's all there. Just
Anyway,
go and play it.
yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, I highly recommend it. It's
I
just
will definitely at some point in the future try to play it, maybe.
and
Looks nice.
honestly,
I want to play it.
honestly, the DLC for it, I was like, oh, it's going to be a bit harder. And it's not just that it's a bit harder, it's that they have robot bears.
Oh. would you compare it to like any other franchise of games?
That's
in
just.
terms of
I
difficulty, or
play
Crash
so
Bandicoot?
Western art. Well, I mean, like the game.
so is it like the Crash Bandicoot of RPGs, or
No, it's not
Oh.
that.
okay?
I mean, it's your typical Western RPG, but like, I guess from where I had beaten the game to what the stuff was in the DLC, it's just a drastic jump.
Mm.
I beat the game maybe in the mid-30s, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you might want to be like 40 or above for the DLC."
Oh, that's good. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I managed to beat this on like 35.
Nice. Nice. Good. Good choice.
All right.
My number 3 is Sonic Mania. That game is such a gorgeous melding of classic and new.
Nice.
And like I mentioned with the music, the biggest thing I think I like is the fact that they did the transition. Like they did the old in the beginning of each zone and then transitioned into something completely new. Like my favorite example is Chemical Plant Zone. Like the first what do they call them? Act. The first act is like pretty much a remake of the first act of Chemical Plant Zone. And then the second act takes that concept of what the actual Chemical Plant Zone is and then like turns it into a new level, which is
Nice.
like about like bouncy chemicals. Like you're bouncing on chemicals and I'm like, this is cool. Like it's things like that. Like they did a really good job of really showing how you can evolve old concepts in a new game.
Sonic
And
is one of the few
great.
franchises for me that's like, I don't like platformers, but I can play it if it's a Sonic game or a Mario game. Like, just like those few platformers that are like, they're good.
It teaches you a good lesson. Go play with chemicals.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I love everything about that
Where's your
game.
statue, T-Boo? Where's Sonic?
I didn't get it. I didn't have money at the time, so like whatever. But I got on Switch because Switch release.
There's a Sonic Heroes remaster for PC.
Oh, Sonic
I like
Forces.
Sonic Heroes.
I actually did too. I know it's like a lot of people seem to have hated it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I loved it. I don't care. Whatever,
It's
was
the only
fun.
3D one I legitimately think is
It's the only 3D
actually.
one I played.
Yeah.
No, that game had great music too. So
Did.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, there we go. Your number 2?
Near Automata.
Oh, I know what your number 1 is. Good.
Yeah. I haven't talked about it very much, but yeah.
yeah.
Near Automata number 2, that game is just, like, I can't, other than the PC port, I can't think of anything I didn't like about it. I'm sure in the moment there were times where I'm like, I don't feel like doing this combat or whatever, but like overall, just the entire game, I remember it as just a really great experience that I was actually able to play 5 times to get the full story. I don't
Nice.
play games multiple times usually.
I mean, to be fair, like
yeah, I mean, I
1
guess
and 2 are really like the closest
Yeah.
to each other. And
playing.
the
I
third
think the
one-
second playthrough was the hardest one for me to get through too, because I was like, okay, new stuff, please. But
But then you get to learn more about Forest King, and
it is a very, very good game, and I do think it's like one of the best games I've ever played. Actually, Nier Automata is so just like everyone needs to play it. Everyone needs to play, it, even you, and both of you haven't played it yet.
Good.
You both have to play it. It's, I mean, it's like
Well,
a great
well.
action RPG thing. It has a great story, it has great music, it has great all the rest of it, and it has robots in it, and they're nice.
and they're great.
They're very good robots.
Nice.
robots are so good. It has
Yeah.
passed. Anyway,
I look forward to it.
Anyway,
Yeah, Esther.
so my number 2, which is surprising because I never expected it to be, or never expected to like it as much as I did. Resident Evil 7.
No, nice.
I
It's
loved
also easy to
every-
forget that came out this year.
Yeah,
It was like
because it came out
February or January or
January, February, January 28th.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah,
That's literally.
that's how much I like it. I still remember the release date.
It's almost last year.
Almost. Just I loved every single Resident Evil game, minus a few. I mean,
hiccups
there
here
are
and there.
definitely
Minus
some
here and there.
that's not
numbers.
every single.
Some
I mean, I
numbers
even
that
like-
kind of fall somewhere in
Yeah.
between the number 4 and then the number 7.
yeah,
They're
I even
kinda- I don't
liked
know.
Outbreak and Outbreak File 2. I mean, those were just like spin-off side things that people really didn't take into account. But this game in general, overall, just takes a bunch of everything that they've done, turns it on its head, changes the style, and it's just very fun game to play from start to end. I mean, the game wasn't the greatest at certain points. There were some issues with it, but I just enjoyed playing it multiple times. I played it, I think, 5 different playthroughs just because I wanted to perfect it. And then I have the Not a Hero DLC, the new DLC that came out for it, and then the new DLC which came out after that, which is expands on 2 of the other characters. So we'll go back and do some streams on because I really really want to go back and play into that world.
There were so even watching it, like I didn't play it, and even I like really appreciate just the level design.
Yeah.
It felt, I mean, it like seemed like so much more of a horror game than the rest of them have.
And it
I mean,
was
the
intense.
previous like few. There's so
It was
much
very
like
intense.
really
There's-
powerful like foreshadowing. Like the entire game, you see that grandma sitting there.
Yeah.
She's there from the start of the game, and you know
Yeah,
something's
so
gonna
if you
happen.
pay attention, if you literally pay attention at the beginning, it tells you at the very beginning who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And then you just don't realize it until way later when it's like the signs have all been there and it was like, that is
There's
amazing.
so many
I
like
was like,
little
why didn't I not
details
notice this?
of the world.
Yeah.
Like the level design is so good, especially looking at like 5 and 6 where it's just gross.
Yeah. Just like I like that they pulled back, they listened to what people were complaining about in the other ones, and
Right.
they actually attempted to do something back as to their survival horror roots, and they succeeded. Resident Evil 7.
Even knowing the
I mean-
whole story, I might still play it at some point. It looks really
Yeah.
good.
I want to go back and play it again. Yeah.
Nice.
In VR. I want to
Oh,
play it in
boy.
VR.
Oh,
Dude.
no.
I wanna
I
put
would
myself through
not,
that hell.
but
I want to
for
put
it.
myself through that hell. That's how much I liked it.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Do it.
I'll pee in my pants if I do that. Actually,
Have
probably
fun.
probably shouldn't do that.
But yeah, that was mine.
Cool. Janet?
My second best game of the year is Persona 5.
nice.
Game I've been waiting for God knows how long is finally out. I mean, there were some problems with that game, but of course there are. But I mean,
I'm sure it would have ended up on my list if I played it.
like when I
More
think
than, like,
about
the first level or whatever.
when I think about like the modern Personas, so 3, 4, and 5, I remember pretty big chunks of 3, even though I played that when I was like 19.
Yeah.
I cannot remember most things about 4. And I played that a couple years ago. Even.
I
Like,
remember Persona 4 Arena. That was fun. That's
Like-
the only Persona game I've played. I mean, I haven't really played 5.
like
so,
I can't
yeah.
remember Persona 4 Dancing All Night, and I like almost platinumed that game.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
Like that is honestly like I know a lot of people Persona 4 and that's cool. Persona 4 to me is just so unrememberable
Mm.
and unremarkable, which is a shame because I mean I liked it enough to finish it.
Yeah, as
And then
much
yeah.
like I look at it, I've always thought Persona 4 looked like it had such a great aesthetic, but I couldn't imagine getting into the story, even though I didn't even know what the story was. I was just like, I feel like this is more fun to look at than to
Yeah.
play.
Like-
And with Persona 5 the whole time, I'm like, I want to know more, and also it
Nice.
looks great.
Yeah, like Persona 5 had interesting characters, it had interesting side characters. It brought back some of the, Shin Megami Tensei mechanics, which I thought
Nice.
was it had great music. It looks visually like nothing else out there right now. It was so painfully all about the aesthetic. And you can talk about Yusuke and
But
lobsters.
the layout of the alleyway is bad.
The layout of the alleyway is bad on purpose. But yeah, that game, I don't know if I necessarily say it was worth the wait, but at least it launched as a complete game.
Oh no. Not like. Ah,
I hope that's not something we have to say next year about anything.
I hope so too, but I guess we'll find out.
Like, oh, this one was my favorite because it was a game, unlike the rest of the games that came out. So, like,
Unlike these other games, this game was a game.
next year.
They weren't Star Citizen, so it was good.
Mm.
Okay. I like it. Good. Good. I need me some Persona in my life.
Yeah.
Someday.
Same. Tifu, too.
Same. A little bit of an oddball, but Mario and Rabbids
Oh.
Kingdom Battle.
That's like one of the biggest regrets. Like I wish I could have played that, but like a Switch is not possible.
Oh man, it's so silly. It's like
Even
I made this
when
comparison.
I don't care about what Nintendo's doing, and I don't like Rabbids. When I saw that game, I was like, I need it.
It's so fun. And it's great because they take the tactics formula and make it really accessible while still being reasonably deep. And, like, it's so beautiful how they did that. And, like, I make this comparison all the time. It's like a modern-day Super Mario RPG in the sense that it's the type of collaboration we never thought we would get, we never thought we wanted, and it's the genre we never thought we'd ever care about Mario being in.
Yeah.
Yet it all works perfectly. Like, they did such a good job, and thank you, Ubisoft, for doing this, because it's like, and you can tell they put so much love and care into everything. Like, they, I love it. Yes, Rabid Kong is the best Kong.
That's like the
Kong
new,
family.
the new Ubisoft trend is suddenly you can tell that they care. It's great.
I love it, and this is the perfect game to show that off. Like, it was so good.
I've
It was
actually
so good.
used Uplay so much this year, and it's such a bad platform, but
Right?
Ubisoft is still so good all of a sudden.
Keep up the good work, Ubisoft. But yeah, that's me.
Fix
Mario
it.
and Rabbids. Easy.
Nice.
Easy.
I really hope I can play that next year. Maybe.
Just take my Switch, beat me up and take it and play it.
Oh, sell it. Not sell it, just send it to me. Someone buy it for me.
Just ship it to me.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll give you like $10 for a Switch.
I don't know about that. I actually have more games on my Switch than I do on my PS4 now. It's pretty
good.
obnoxious. Pretty obnoxious. Alright, so, Justin, do it. You're number one.
Bad Rats.
Drum roll. Oh, what? Did that
Okay,
come out this year?
No, I don't think it did. No, Divinity Original Sin 2, though, absolutely. Like that, I am not really that into like CRPGs. I like the idea of them, but I always get really bored. And yet
Right.
somehow I played through this one and did like every single side quest, and I usually don't like side quests. And I usually am not that into turn-based combat, but it was still great. The
Yeah.
story was great. And like all the things I don't like about RPGs, it did well. And all the things I do like about RPGs, it also did well. So like creating your character and having your own story and dialogue options that matter. And also, like, not only are you your own character if you want to be, but there's also actual characters with their own depth, even, like, with their whole deep backstories that you might never see because they die at the beginning or something. There's so much to that game. I don't know how many times I've played through it. I've tried to do a bunch of co-op playthroughs that always fail because we're playing on the dumb mode where if you wipe, then the save file is deleted.
Oh, good.
But I've been through at least like the first section like so many times now, and there's always something new. I'm like, I've been through this so many times that I'm starting to get bored and not want to do it. But wait, I didn't know that before. And it's just
And
like
then it
that
just
game
brings you
is
back, yeah.
amazing. I didn't even like the first Original Sin that much. That was one I had been really wanting to play for a long time, and then finally got around to it, and I was like, too overhyped, whatever. And the second one is just amazing. And I think it's actually like the best RPG I've ever played, actually. So, yeah, Original Sin 2 is pretty great, and I want to see Larian continue to be a company that does things instead of disappears for like 20 years after the 90s.
Well, I mean, that 20 years meant the best game you've ever played, so...
Yeah, I mean, there was also that really, like, garbage thing they did before Original Sin, whatever that Dragon Commander thing was, but...
I know. Dragon Commander was fun. You shut your
It
mouth.
looked like garbage. I didn't play it, but it looked very
It was
good.
fun.
Original Sin 2 is very good. Definitely everyone who plays RPGs should try that. Because, I mean, especially because, like, Obsidian has kind of been trying to revive the CRPG for a few years. Like, they did the, Pillars of Eternity, and then, what's the one where you're supposed to be a villain? Or something... I don't know what it was called, but it looked like really great and stuff. But then, like, suddenly Divinity comes from, like, actually, we're going to destroy Obsidian.
Nice.
Got
Because
their
actually,
own-
Obsidian, for all their like trying to recreate CRPG and stuff, they're not doing a very good job of making it
Really?
like compelling. I mean, it feels very much like they got the D&D system right, but they're not like writing good, compelling stories to go along with it. It really is just kind of like, here's this world where stuff's kind of happening, but the point is that they were like, look at how good we perfected the systems. And Divinity's like, well, we can perfect the systems and also give you a compelling world and story. So,
Wait,
hey.
I thought Pillars of Eternity was like one of the most beloved games like ever
It
made.
was, and I just don't understand. Because the story, there's like, I couldn't get through the prologue almost. Like, it's just so bland. The mechanics are really good. They did a very good job of like converting the D&D format to digital that no one had really done well that I know of up until that point.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I love Obsidian. I think they make very good games, and usually, I mean, from like Fallout New Vegas, their storytelling is very good too. But
Right.
just didn't like Pillars of Eternity. And then
So
yeah, Original Sin 2, like that. Even they went so far with it. They were like, "There's so much in this game, so many characters. We can't voice act it." And then like a few months before release, they're like, "Actually,
yeah,
we're gonna
that's
voice
actually-
every single one of the like almost 2,000
man.
NPCs in this game."
so obnoxious.
It's very good. And the soundtrack, somehow, I was like, I don't notice it until all of a sudden it's great. I'm like, oh yeah. Like, so many soundtrack moments of this year were all from that game. I was like, oh, that's really good. That's really good. Yeah, and
And-
it's like just an amazing single-player game that can also be a co-op game. And good co-op games are kind of harder to find now.
These days, yeah.
Yeah, because
really.
now if it's either going to be single-player or competitive multiplayer.
Yeah, yeah. And as a testament to Divinity, I wanna add to what you're saying. For a very niche genre that not a lot of people usually play.
Oh my god,
being
it's
the
sold
top game on
so
Steam.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That is super impressive, and it makes me super happy because
Yeah.
RPGs are too, and like that's great. I love
Yeah,
this.
like usually people will be like, "Oh, I love RPGs. Fallout 4 was so much fun." It's like, I'm sorry. Have the Pip-Boy edition box back there. That's my version of the No Man's Sky disappointment box or whatever. Fallout 4
Nice.
was terrible.
Nice.
But yeah, Original Sin 2 is amazing, actually. And they just put so much more work into that game than they even needed to. And yet, yeah, and everyone loved it somehow, even though they did like no marketing and nobody had ever heard of them before.
Yeah.
I think what
And-
really helped them was E3 last year or maybe the year before that, when they were doing the big remaster of the first Original Sin and showing off all the changes they made, and suddenly people were like, "What's this game? Something
Yeah.
seems really special about this." And then the second one comes out.
Then everybody bought it.
And you don't even have to play the first one, because it takes place like thousands of years later, so
Yeah.
hey.
Well, they're all pretty unrelated. That's a great part. So
Yeah.
you don't have to feel
Like, they
compelled to
all
play
have
any game.
connections, and they're all in the same
Yeah.
universe. They mention characters or whatever, but you don't have to play any of the
Yeah.
other ones.
It's like Elder Scrolls, but good.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls sucks. So,
So,
Elder Scrolls not good.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. It's just like if they everyone's like, "Hey, Elder Scrolls 6," I'm like, please, just
No, Todd.
keep
It's
making
but-
Skyrims at this point.
No.
At least I know not to buy more Skyrims.
Elder
If they make a
Scrolls
6,
6,
I might get like
Skyrim 2.
convinced to try it, and then I'll have wasted more money on it.
Skyrim 2
Todd
Return to
game.
Skyrim again.
Elder Scrolls 6 is actually just a DLC for Skyrim.
Oh no!
Alright,
it just
guys.
takes place in Skyrim again. They call it Skyrim 2. The way, oh my god, I do not have,
Skyrimier.
I do not have high hopes for Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead 3, but whatever.
I know, right? Because 2 was pretty, like, it was a good standalone Anyways, Nestor,
Yeah,
you're number one.
Yeah, what's your game of the year, Nestor?
My game of the year, easily, just to expand on what Jan was saying earlier, Persona 5.
Nice.
Just for the simple fact that without realizing it, and I mean, I did this purposely with Fallout. Is I put it over combined with with Fallout 3 and New Vegas. I put over 300, almost 400 hours into those games.
Gosh, those are
But in
rookie
Persona
numbers, man.
5, in Persona 5, I easily put over 300 hours without realizing it, and I was like, where did my life go?
These days, I
And I
consider a
enjoyed,
game successul if I can break like
yeah,
50 hours in it.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed every single minute of it, and I
That's
will
really good.
not change any of that experience. And it's like, I love the Shin Megami Tensei games, and then for them bringing some of that stuff into that Persona series, I mean, with some of the mechanics, with the what was it, with the negotiations, tactics, everything, it it easily was number one for me this year, just because of the simple fact I just enjoyed every single second of it. There really wasn't any moment where I was just like sitting here and just going, okay, I'm just gonna keep playing and playing. It was just like I'm gonna keep playing, and I'm just like ignored everybody else. I'm just like, hey, we're gonna go get something to eat. It's like, no, screw that. I'm gonna play.
You're like,
And I just
it's been
play.
a month.
Yeah.
I've been playing for a month straight. What just happened to my
Yeah.
life?
Even then, I was just like, huh,
Dude,
Uh,
yeah.
there's like
And
500 personas to catch.
yeah, and I don't
Gotta
have
catch
every
them all.
single persona, and now I'm upset at that for reminding me that I don't
You
have it.
disappoint our good friend.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I need to go back. I need to get every single thing in that game.
It's like the
Do it.
Dark
But
Souls of
easily
getting
without,
everything in the game.
yeah, but easily without getting every single thing in the game, I still put in tons of hours, and I enjoyed every single bit.
Do it.
Yeah,
I
the
like it.
soundtrack is amazing. Listening
It
to
is.
it, I have it on my phone. I'm not gonna play it once we're done with this.
Perfect.
Don't play it now; we'll get copyright. But yeah,
No, I know. All right.
Yeah. Good. All right. Janet.
My
Proud.
number one game of the year is Nier Automata.
nice.
I don't know how to
Also
tell you
very
guys
well
how
Shocker.
much
deserved.
I love about I love robots. I love robots so much.
Such a good game.
like I mean, at the base level, Nier Automata was like no one knew what to really expect going.
Right.
What you got was a game that
Like 5 people were excited about it. They're like, "Oh, I've heard of something near."
what you ended up getting was a game that had wild gameplay because it went from like kind of open world action RPG to side scrolling platform
Bullet
to
hell.
bullet hell
Yeah.
and back seamlessly without feeling weird.
Mm.
You got a story that forced you to replay to see things in a different light.
Yeah.
You had a good soundtrack, you had interesting characters. I mean, Yoko Taro made a better game about androids wanting to be human than David Cage is going to do with Detroit.
From what I've seen in Detroit,
as a
not
as a
looking
person
forward
like-
to that one.
Like, as a person who enjoys David Cage is not right very good.
No.
He needs somebody to rein him.
Yeah, I think Yoko Taro has made one of the best games about robots ever now. So
He's made one of the best anythings about, like,
Anything.
anythings.
the
Yeah.
idea of what makes something human.
Yeah. And also like one of the best like post-apocalyptic stories, one of the best action RPGs, one of the best anime looking games.
Like people are like, oh, haha, that's the one with the girl with, like, the nice butt and the short skirt.
Yeah, and that's like pretty much like all like whenever I was talking about the game, everyone's like, "Oh, haha, you like the anime girls?" And it's like, well,
Like, yeah,
play
I
it,
do.
bro.
But they're like,
Yeah.
my
That's not
favorite
the reason I'm
character
playing it, though. Yeah.
is a robot that looks like he's made of wood. I love him so much. I think about him and I get upset and I cry.
That game really was amazing.
Nice.
I can't believe that
And
came
I
out
mean,
this
like-
year too. That was so long ago.
And they also have a DLC where you literally fight, like, CEOs from Square Enix. So.
I didn't play that, but I enjoyed that they made it.
And
Pretty
also,
funny.
like, Kamiya more or less came out and said if it weren't for Yoko Taro and Nier Automata, we'd be kind of screwed.
Nice.
I mean, Nier
And Nier
Automata
Automata's
was for most of the year it was like undisputed. And, like no matter what happens this year, this is game of the year until Divinity. But yeah, like Nier is so far above most of the other games I've ever played. It's just like that is an amazing game. Even the really bad PC port is great.
and that's saying a
Even
lot.
the worst of that game is still leaps and bounds better than the best stuff in some of the other games I played this year.
Yeah,
Nice.
like even if you have to go like grind or something, or if you're just like, I don't want to have to play the story a second time before I get to the rest of the story, or when sometimes the bullet hells get too hard or something, or whatever, it's still just like, this is the best game. Like, I'd
Nice.
rather be doing all the parts I don't like in Nier than, like, I don't know, playing Battlefront or something.
Well, good.
That took ignorance.
Good.
Battlefront looks so bad.
I love it. I hate just.
It looks so bad.
Ah,
Kipu. Or Nestor. Who? I forgot what order we were going in.
People who's on this side of my screen.
oh, nice. You're down here.
Yeah. Y'all have everyone in different orders. Good.
So one of us had to pick. I mean, Zelda, right?
I guess.
So-
Did we have to?
So
I mean, everyone
Since
else
one of us
already did
Had
it.
to.
yeah, well, I mean that's why. Since one of us had to pick Zelda, none of us are gonna pick Zelda.
Oh.
Yay!
I thought
So-
you were gonna pick, like, the Minish Cap or something.
No, I hated Breath of the Wild. But anyways,
Good.
no, my number one is actually the thing I look for the most in a game. I will look past everything else in a game if it has a really good narrative. And because of that, Danganronpa V3 is easily my best game of the year. Like that. This is one of those games where, I mean, it's a murder mystery anyway, so you expect there to be a lot of twists and turns.
Yeah.
But like from the moment you boot up the game, they're telling you what the ending is. It's obnoxious. Like you watch it, and like I go back and watch like the intro cutscene. I'm like, what the heck? They literally told me what was the ending was going to be. You look at the cover; they literally tell you
Oh,
what
no.
the ending is going to be. Like everything about the ending is there the whole time, but you don't see it until you play the end.
Nice.
And like it's so beautiful how it's all crafted together, and the story is told in a way that like every single chapter throws you off guard. Like they take every trope that's in the other three games, every single trope that they kind of established as they went through the series, and they're like, so this trope that you think is going to happen in this chapter because it's consistently happened every time in some way, shape, or form, we're going to make you think that's happening, and then that's not what's going to happen. And it's like to the point where like I can't say it without spoilers, so I'm not going to say any. But like, there's like, from the beginning, like everything is a surprise, and it's just frustrating because you rip your hair out the whole time because you're like, why is this happening? I love this.
Good.
It's great. It's like it's the best. It's one of. I was telling another friend of mine, like I play the Longest Journey series every year. I go through the whole entire series. I love that narrative so much. And I enjoyed this game so much that this is going to be added to my list of yearly plays. Like I will play through all of Danganronpa games because I like 3 so much.
Nice.
And it's perfect. It's like the perfect narrative experience for me. And like as a visual novel, mystery game, hybrid type of thing, like it's so great because like it's challenging solving cases. Like they have a really great way of presenting clues, and like the whole entire development of figuring it out is kind of like Phoenix Wright, where you have like courtroom kind of situation-ish, and it's great that like you get to have arguments with people, and it feels like I'm having an argument with people, and I love having arguments, and they bring that into a game in a really fun way. Like it's just everything about it's perfect. I love it, and the character design's great, the voice acting's beautiful. Like it's the only game in the franchise that I actually like every character 100%. There's nobody I dislike. It's good. It's good, and I feel bad because most people never play it because it's a very niche type of game, and it's tough to get through because there's a lot of reading.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I couldn't get through the first one, even though I am really interested in knowing more about it. But I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah.
And I got through
Visual
the
novels
first one
aren't for me.
like a text-based Let's Play.
Yeah.
What a weird
Like-
like spending of my time that was.
Yeah, like my friend who's currently playing through it right now. She doesn't like visual novels, and she doesn't like that stuff. Yet she's playing it, and she keeps messaging me about it, and then I'm just like,
Yeah.
keep playing.
Yeah, it's so good. I hate to liken it to a visual novel, though. Like, as somebody who grew up in adventure games, like, it really is more classic adventure game than it is visual novel.
Nice.
It's basically a point and click adventure game. Like Longest Journey is the exact same thing. Like there's a ton of dialogue, and then you point and click and move around to do stuff. That's exactly what this is. So it's not really a visual novel. It's just because we don't really have the genre anymore.
Yeah.
This is what we liken it to. As a visual novel. So I love it. I love it,
Nice.
and
Good.
I hate it.
Good.
It makes me really angry
Awesome.
anytime I think about it.
All
More
right.
Danganronpa.
Secret number 1 was Bad Rats, though. Every
Oh, dude.
I was gonna
Speaking
say
of one was
Secret
Destiny 2.
was probably No Man's Sky post Atlas
yeah,
Rising.
somehow.
Like that
they
was-
managed to turn that
One.
game around so hard.
Okay, so I move that we actually do like a closing statement because we have actually been recording
3 hours.
Yeah, I
Great.
did also want to talk about like next year and what we hope.
Yeah.
will
Let's
happen.
close out with what we want, what
I
we're
mean,
looking forward to the most next year. Right?
how long is that going to take us then?
One thing per
Okay.
person.
Okay,
Just
Oh
short
man,
and simple.
I had a list.
Yeah,
No, just
I-
one.
No list.
Yeah.
No list.
We've
I had a
been
list too, but
3 hours.
Short and simple. What I'm
Yeah.
really hoping for next year, Kingdom Hearts 3. Final. That's it.
that is a good thing to look forward to after all this time.
That's it. I just wanted to come out. Even if they give me a shitty version, I just wanted to come out.
Just give me my darn conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
The
Good.
thing is, everything on my list is actually games that aren't confirmed to be coming out, and some
That's
of
your
which
bad.
haven't
then.
been announced.
You don't get to talk.
Yeah, yeah. Just pick one and run with it. Gosh darn
I
it.
just hope Death Stranding happens eventually, and I hope it's good.
Yeah, same.
I'm lucky in that Monster Hunter World comes out in less than a month.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And from what I played in the beta, it was not quite there, but solid enough that I think I could plunk a couple hundred hours into it. They've already pre-L. The only paid DLC is like a costume. You're like quest girl.
Yeah, and it's multi-platform, so everybody can finally play it.
I don't know, man. It's only multi-platform. I don't think the East is getting. I know that they're not doing the Xbox in Japan at all.
I mean, that makes sense. Nobody has an Xbox.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know what the PC
10
is
people.
anywhere but West.
it's okay. I mean, the market. I mean, let's be real. The market. It makes sense because nobody's in Japan, for example, would play it on anything but PS4 anyway.
Yeah.
Right, like PC's really only a major platform here.
Yeah,
so it
exactly.
makes sense that it's not going to be on PC elsewhere.
Yeah,
But the
it's-
point
Just
is,
make it cross-platform,
is-
and then
it
is we can all play it.
It is going to be widely available, and we can all play it. And by we, I mean
Yeah.
mostly just me, because the three of you play.
I'll play it.
Yeah, Nestor likes it.
I don't
Did you
think
beta? Why didn't you beta?
Because I wasn't home during the time that the beta was out.
But I knew where the Rathalos nest was.
We-
Crap in the water.
I downloaded it. It was booted up on my console, and then I had to spend 3 nights at my aunt's house because holiday shit at work. But, yeah, I didn't get a chance to because of that, and it sucked.
Fair enough.
I cried.
Well, you'll get the game regardless. So.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna get it regardless. I'm gonna get it day one.
I am. They've hinted at it coming out next year, so I don't know if it's actually coming out next year, but we don't even know what it is. I mean, it's happening. But
Beta.
whatever Retro Studios project is,
Who?
I need it to happen next year, and I want it. I don't care what it is.
Who?
What?
they're hiring for it.
Yeah. So whatever it is, I
Austin.
sincerely hope. I sincerely hope it comes next year. That is my number one thing I'm looking forward to. And like everybody already knows, Metroid Prime is my favorite game of all time. So anything they make is gold for me. But if I had to pick something that I know is coming out next year, it's the Switch Pokemon game. Whatever it is, I want it, and I need it.
I can't think of anything that I know is
Only
coming
reason,
out next
only
year.
reason why I buy a Switch is because of that.
Dude, yeah.
The
Dude.
only reason I want to buy a Switch is because they're putting Bayonettas on it.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot that's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh no, is that or is that 2019?
No.
Bayonetta 3.
They're doing 1 and 2
1 and
in
2.
February.
Oh, okay. So 3. Okay.
Like, they
Perfect.
Didn't,
I
did they
thought
announce
it
when
was
3 had a release? Or?
I think they just announced that 3 was a thing.
Yeah,
they
I
just
think
announced
so.
that 3 was a thing, but that and it's gonna be Switch exclusive. So yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope I can get a Switch next year sometime.
You will when they make a limited edition Pokemon. then
No.
because they have to.
Pokeball
Well,
edition.
unless that makes the base one extremely cheap, then I'll buy a basic
Yeah.
Switch.
I was like, hey, did you remember those neon red and blue? There's gonna be a red and blue, but for Pokemon.
With the Pokeball on the back.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I'll buy it.
And the
Just buy a
actual Switch,
Pokeball
the
sticker,
actual
it'll be
Switch is
fine.
yellow. Yay!
I can't wait. I
Alright,
can't
are we
wait.
done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So-
happy.
General, like, pretty good year for games.
Yeah. Great we are. We're all happy. Except for EA.
I'm sure EA's happy.
No, I
We're
mean,
not
except
happy
for
about them.
we're unhappy that they exist.
Yeah.
Besides that, we're all happy about the gaming year. Good job.
Yeah.
Gaming world.
I hope a Star Wars game comes out one day.
Yeah, same. Same. It's okay, I just go back and play the old ones. They make me
Just
happy.
with Porg.
Just a game about porgs. Oh,
Bad
I'd play
Wars.
I'd play it. Porg pod racing.
Mario versus Rabbids versus Boars.
Oh no.
That actually would work really well. Actually, I could do that. Porg DLC, bring it.
Porg.
Alright. We've rambled on enough.
Yeah, we don't know when
Alright.
we're gonna come back to podcast because we got schedule stuff.
Yeah, 3 hours for once a year. I think that's okay.
I mean, we're not dead.
Yeah, we're here. I'm here.
Yeah,
Just
We'll try to have a regular schedule, maybe.
reasonably. We'll see what we can do.
We pre-recorded this one. It's not live for the first time, and actually, I think that worked out a lot better.
Well, it's live for me.
Well, I mean,
TV's been secretly live streaming.
just because like we didn't have to worry about the schedule as much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
there was
yeah,
no
we will
rigid thing to stick to.
see what happens next year, maybe.
See you next year.
Yep, we'll see you next year.
Bye.
Bye.
Also, video games actually are bad.